Kempire is brought to you by.
'Tis the season to be jolly, guys. Happy holidays for those that are listening to this new episode. But before you get into the episode, don't forget the Kempire After Dark live experience is returning to Washington, D.C. on Friday, January 24th for a special show. I know a lot will be happening that week, but hopefully we will be the ending to, the most wonderful ending to an interesting week. And don't forget, for Black History Month, the Kempire After Dark live experience will be returning as well for a third show at the Green Room 42 for the Kempire After Dark live experience on Friday, February 21st. Tickets are available for that as well. And special for this show only, there are live stream tickets available as well. More information on both shows will be available in the description notes.
You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network.
Hello. What's going on, everyone? Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. I'm in a different setup. I'm on my laptop. I'm not in the studio. So let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. I still have a couple of banners that I want to create just to kind of protect us because this is a different type of live. Hold on one second. Let me just make sure I'm okay. I'm on my FaceTime camera. All right. If you are a Royal Court member and a senior royal, I've already dropped the backstage link on the community tab. So this is a different live, okay? I'm just giving you the disclaimer. So if children are around, they need to go, okay? We're going to be able to talk a little bit more openly and freely here. We also want to create a safe space for everyone to share their personal thoughts, opinions, and personal stories. So when I say we listen and we don't judge, I know we have said that facetiously before, but no, we really mean that for tonight's live. So this is an opportunity for us to talk about dating. This is an opportunity for us to talk about astrology, because a lot of you have been asking me to do that as well. So we're going to start this very first Dating with Kempire in this way. We're figuring it out, okay? We're figuring out the rules, the regulations, but the regular rules of respecting people's opinions, respecting me as the moderator, okay, of all moderators, okay? Respecting that, okay? You never know. We might learn something tonight. We might learn something in the future. We might make love connections in the future. You just never know. You never know, okay? So if there's a lot of single women that follow me, but there are some men. We're gonna start building on our heterosexual men to come in here. Okay, all right. Ali said the kinky edition. No, I mean, look, it might get there. It might go there. We are grown, but I'm putting it out there that this live is rated mature, so children can't be around. I don't really curse on my daily. I'm not going to censor you guys from using a curse word or two, but don't overdo it. All right, don't overdo it. We listen and we don't judge, but we still want to keep a channel, okay? We still want to keep a channel. And if you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like the video. Again, if you are a member of the channel, a Royal Court member and a Senior Royal, I've already dropped the call-in link on the community tab, okay? Let me just create a banner just for anyone that's coming in that might not know what the hell we're doing, okay? Okay, we listen and we don't judge. This is please respect everyone's opinions and stories. We do not, hold on, let me put that in caps. We do not, what's the word? I forgot my word. We do not, let me see. And guys, while I'm doing this, be sure to let us know who you are and where you're watching from in the live chat. Okay, this is a space for our watcher. Please write everyone's opinion. We do not tolerate, there we go, that's the word, tolerate, derogatory. Okay. And no one wants to get banned from this live, okay? No one wants to get banned. I'm warm. I just took a shower, have some tea, have my water, Make sure you guys stay hydrated as well. Let me just put this up here. Okay. Sidebar. Not tomorrow. I keep thinking today's Saturday. No. Sunday afternoon, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. PST. The Brooke Ashley and Taria Faison from What Else Is Going On podcast will be joining me for a ultimate Real Housewives takeover. So we'll be talking about everything Housewives. So make sure you subscribe to make sure you have your notifications on for that. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. All right, we have Middletown, Delaware. We have Baltimore. We have a lot of people in Baltimore. You have your tickets for the Kempire After Dark live experience. The Kempire After Dark live experience, we might have to have a dating segment based off tonight's live, okay? Hey, Rahina, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, Toy. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Nita. What's going on? Hey, Arjan. Okay, wait, hold on. Arjan says, Kempire, will this be available to watch later? It's 3 a.m. in Portugal, so I'm about to go to sleep. I mean, as long as everything goes well, it will be available tomorrow, okay? Chicago, Texas, what's going on? Someone said, find me a husband. Naomi says, find me a husband. Look, we're going to give you the tools by learning from each other, okay? We're going to give you the tools by learning from each other, and you never know. You never know who's watching, okay? You never know who's watching. All right, someone said, Moonlight says, Kempire, are you hooking people up tonight? If we can. But I think the most important thing when it comes to dating, before actually getting that person, getting that woman, getting that man, is making sure you heal yourself from the baggage that you have from previous relationships. So we're going to unpack a lot of that. Let me drop the call-in link for our Team Kempire members next. Let me just do that now. So if you're a member of the channel, I'm dropping the call-in link. And again, we are creating a safe space. So don't be afraid to call in and share your personal stories. Or if you have questions, this is not just about, sharing your personal story. It's also if you have questions or if you want to share something, this is your opportunity to do that. I know it's in front of a lot of people, but you will be okay. Okay, you will be okay. But you don't have to. You don't have to, okay? Okay. Let me, Mr. Mel Magic has a new picture, y'all, and he is a hot mess. Espos in Love Rise. He's got damn Karen as his new picture. Well, you know what? I appreciate the update in the photo, okay? Aisha's watching from Reading UK. What's going on? Be Ready says, yes, preach about healing. All right. Okay, first off, let's start by talking a little astrology. What is everyone's sign? All right. And if you don't know, but if you do know your rising and your moon sign, let me know in the live chat. So let me know your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign. Okay. I'll tell you guys, I'll start off. My sun sign is Taurus. My rising is Cancer. I know. Don't judge. We listen and we don't judge. Okay. And my moon sign is Leo. Okay, that might explain a lot. Don't judge me. All right. Okay, so I see we have a lot of Aries, Scorpio. What's a demisexual? What is that? You guys are gonna also be teaching me things in this chat. Okay. Hey, Duran. Duran says Sun Leo, of course, rising Libra, Moon Cancer. Interesting. Okay. We have a lot of Aries women that follow the channel. And you also have a Leo moon, Stephanie. Stephanie says, I'm an Aries sun, Leo moon, and Scorpio rising. That's interesting. Jen says, Virgo, duh. We know, Jen. We know you're a Virgo. And you know how we feel about Virgos. We love Virgos here. We do. Okay. Chanel says she's a Cancer, Aries, Gemini. But you didn't tell us what exactly, what is sun, what is moon, all that stuff. Okay. Moonlight says Cancer, Sun, Leo moon. We have a lot of Leo moons. I'm a Leo moon. Sagittarius rising. Okay. It's a lot of fire. Okay. Capricorn, January 1st. It's Capricorn season. You notice how the Capricorns, though, when it was Sagittarius season, the Capricorns, no one has really been in the chat that I've seen said, it's Capricorn season. Whoop, whoop. Capricorn's earth sign. Very demure. Very cutesy. Shout out to the Capricorns. They're not all in your face. I'm a Capricorn. Did you guys notice that? I did. Carolyn, thank you so much for being a member. We appreciate you. Big Ant. Off-topic question: What are your tips on starting YouTube? I planned on starting one in 2025 as a bucket list on New Year's resolution. Well, I would say start now. Don't wait till New Year's, because I know that's literally next week. Start now. Start doing your homework now. I'm not going to give you all the tips and tricks because literally I'm creating a course on stuff like that. So that's proprietary information. But I would say start now. And I'm always giving sort of like little tips throughout the channel. But I would say start now. Figure out what your niche will be. And sometimes your niche will start out one way and then it's another way. There you go. Sorbet's in the building. What's going on? Mallory says Cancer, Gemini. Wow. See? Hey, Ivy. Ivy says, thanks for showing us Capricorn's love. Yeah, y'all are cutesy and demure, unlike some of these other folks. Okay. Just saying. All right. Okay. Marissa says, Kemp, as much as mess as you talk about us Cancers, your rising explains why you have so many Cancer subscribers. It's true. It's so true. Online shopping at Gucci for your upcoming show in February. I can't wait to see it, Orange Sorbet. You know I love a little Gucci. Okay. Cheryl says Gemini, Aquarius, Leo rising. That's a lot of air in your chart. I wonder what that would what that personality would be like. Thank you for being a member, Cheryl. Okay. Stephanie says, my man is a Taurus sun and Libra rising. Pray for us. Wait, Stephanie, what was your sign again? I know we pulled it up before. My man is a Taurus and a Libra rising. I mean, pray for us. I'm praying for him. Because what was your sign again? Stephanie, what was your sign again? OMG. So this is a safe space for us to talk about astrological signs and dating. Again, we have Sierra backstage that wants to, I don't know, maybe share a story or two or ask a question. We don't know. But guys, you all will have an opportunity to call in. Moderators, King's Guards, can you guys let me know where we are with the likes? We have like 500 people here. Once we get to a certain amount of likes, I'll drop the call-in link. Did Stephanie tell me what her sign was again? Jan says, hubby is a Virgo, sun, Scorpio, moon. Jan, what is your sign? Because God bless you. I mean, anyone dealing with a Virgo, I'm like, God bless you. Leo is a fire sign, Cass. Cass says, wait, is Leo an air sign? No, Leo is a fire sign. What is going on outside? What is going on? Jan, you're like me. Oh, so we see each other. Jan says, I'm a Taurus sun and a Leo moon. I have a Taurus sun and a Leo moon. So that Virgo works your nerve, but somehow it works, doesn't it? Watch me end up with a Virgo. Oh, Lord. Durant, why can't you call in tonight? I need to call in one day. What do you mean one day? Okay. Kid Crudy says, not too much on Virgo Kempire. Have you, look, this is not your first time here. We do Virgo slander all the time. Yeah, that's why I vibe with you so much. That makes complete sense. Like, we get each other. I don't think I've ever met another Taurus. There's not a lot of Tauruses around me, but I don't think I've ever met another Taurus with a Leo moon. That would be probably a good vibe for me. All right. Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. Julie says, I'm a Taurus and hubby's a Pisces, afraid to look. Well, here's the thing. I know I come down hard on Pisces and Virgos and things like that, but they are a decent match for Taurus. And clearly you and your husband have been together a long time, so you know that it works on some level. Fabiana says, all of us are not bad, Kim. Virgos are good people. I didn't say that you were bad people. I just say you guys irk my nerves sometimes. Okay? You just irk my nerves. Okay? Okay, hold on. Alawin Toyin. Ooh, I butchered that, didn't I? I'm a Virgo, September 1st, married to a Virgo, September 11th. What does that mean? You guys irk each other's nerves? Or maybe you irk each other's nerves to the point where, like, you get each other. So I can see how that works. But again, guys, I think it's so important to understand not just your sun sign, but your rising and your moon and other parts of your birth chart. So if you haven't gotten your birth chart done, you should, so you can kind of understand yourself and other people around you. Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to see all of your comments, guys, but there are a lot of folks in here. Hold on. Hi, Kempire. I'm a Taurus sun and a Pisces moon. My birthday's May 5th. We have a lot of Tauruses that follow the channel. Arjun says, Kempire, your opinion on Aquarius. I've never heard you mention us. Because I really don't have a lot of Aquarius around me. Femtaro's an Aquarius. One of my friends is, two of my friends. I do like Aquarius. I don't have a strong opinion on Aquarius being like a mess. I really do like Aquarius. And Femtaro says I should date an Aquarius. I just never have. I've never really met one to date. So I don't know. They're a little weird. I don't really love weird. So that might not work dating wise, but friend wise, it seems to work. friend wise, it seems to work. Oh, wait, hold on, y'all. Hey, Google, turn living room up 100%. Sorry.
Lights, 100% brighter.
There are plenty of websites, guys, where you can find your birth chart, but you can also get your birth chart done by an astrologer. Femtaro does it. There are a few people that do it. Okay. Mama Ali, thank you so much for the super chat. Mama Ali says, I'm a Taurus and Hubs is an Aquarius. Are we compatible? Well, here's the thing. I always say this in regards to dating. You can date any sign, no matter what your sign is. It's more about understanding that person's birth chart. So your husband might be an Aquarius, but there might be other things within his chart that vibe with you. Or you've come to understand. I think Tauruses are a little bit more understanding of that in regards to being a little bit more understanding of people and who they are and taking people as they are, especially if they're decent human beings. So it's not about if you're compatible. On some level, obviously you are. She said, because we could go either way in reality. Lord. Okay. Dr. Red, thank you so much for the super chat. Dr. Red says, Scorpio with a Taurus dad and a Taurus son. We so vibe. Well, yeah, Scorpio and Taurus are sister signs. So that makes complete sense. Remember, I am the product of two Scorpios. I am the product. Well, one's an October Scorpio. The other one's a November Scorpio. And I never usually have issues with Scorpios. Like, I hate the other water signs, but Scorpio, they're okay in my book. All right. Okay. So if you are a member of the channel, I've already posted the call-in link in the community tab. Sierra's backstage. We're going to bring Sierra up in just a second. This is a special live where we're talking about dating. We're also talking about astrology. Don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. Janelle, where you been? Janelle says, us Sagittarius, of course you're a Sagittarius. Us Sagittarius are misunderstood dating-wise. We don't settle for anything. Is that true? I don't have a bad thing to say about Sagittarius. I always say they're like this youthful, kiddie part of the sign. Not in a disrespectful way. There's like a kid energy to you guys, a light, fun energy to Sagittariuses. Okay. Janelle says, I knew it. I just said earlier that you must attract Scorpios. Product of two. One of my best friends is a Scorpio. I mean, I haven't talked to him in a hot minute, but we used to be best friends. Oh, Dr. Red says Scorpio and Gemini are total no-go. But like I said, it doesn't really matter your sign. If you understand, if you really do your homework on someone's astrological birth chart, you could have a better understanding of them and try to make it work. It doesn't always, because some of you, depending on your sign, might not be willing to do that. Virgo. Am I playing? All right. We're going to get a couple more super chats, and then we're going to bring up Ciara to hear what Ciara would like to share or ask. Again, guys, you will have an opportunity to call in to share and ask. But if you're a member, we've posted the call-in link for you guys first on the community tab. Joe, thank you so much for the super chat. Of course you're a Sagittarius. Joe says, I'm a Sagittarius Capricorn cusp. That makes sense, Joe, because you have a light, fun energy to you, but you also have this very to the book energy, which is the Capricorn in my book, in my personal intuitive nature of understanding. With a Taurus moon and Capricorn rising. Oh, so you have a lot of Capricorn. I wonder what your birth chart looks like. You might have more Capricorn than just that. And yes, I'm very demure and very mindful. Thank you for the super chat, Joe. And Joe said he's coming to our Washington, D.C. show. Guys, don't forget the Kempire After Dark live experience will be coming to Washington, D.C. on January 24th. That's a Friday in Washington, D.C. at Union Stage. Ticket information is available in the description. Then we're having our Kempire After Dark live experience return to New York City on Friday, February 21st. So stay tuned for that. More ticket information is in the description. Kayla, thank you so much for the super chat. Kayla says, I'm a Cancer with a rising in Scorpio and a moon in Pisces. My man is a Gemini. Kayla, are you psychic? That's a lot of water. You're a Cancer with a rising in Scorpio and a moon in Pisces. If you don't believe that you're psychic, you might have an ability to be psychic, and you don't even realize it. That's interesting. I literally just saw a chart like that this week where there's a lot of water in someone's chart. Rahina, thank you so much for the super chat. Rahina says, my baby is in Aries. He's a boy. You always say you don't like Aries men. Why? Also, my twin brother. You have a twin, Rahina? Also, my twin brother's in Aries. Wait a second. If he's in Aries, that means you're in Aries, right, Rahina? your twin brother? My twin brother's in Aries. Love him, but I can't see. But I can see why. No, I don't really have any sort of issue with Aries men. It's just usually I vibe better with Aries women than Aries men. Okay, I don't really know a lot of Aries men to really judge them like I judge the other signs. Classic Chic, thank you for being a member for 5 months. Leo Sun, Pisces rising, Scorpio moon. That's a lot of water in your chart too, Classic Chic. Oh, wow. That's so interesting. I love seeing everyone's rising. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know what is your sun, what is your rising, and what is your moon. Okay. Duran says that Aries women are a lot too. No shade. I didn't say that they weren't. They are. I know Aries women like the back of my hand. I know quite a few of them. A few of them. All right. I'm going to drop the call-in link for everyone in the live chat. I should pin it. Let me do that. Hold on. And normally I don't do that, but I'm going to pin it today. Let me go. And if you're a member, I've posted the call-in link on the community tab. Let me pin this. Okay, guys. So this is an opportunity. Remember, this is a safe space for everyone. So we're not judging. Okay. No derogatory comments on people's opinions. B. Richie says, get off us Aries women. That's not me. That's not me. Okay. Okay. L, thank you so much for the super chat. L says, I'm a Libra sun, Aquarius moon. So that's 2 air signs already. A Libra rising. Whoa, you must be a lot. L. Married to a Libra sun, Scorpio moon, Scorpio rising. That's also very interesting too. If you start paying attention to the signs that are consistently in your life, you probably have never thought about that before, but look at the people that you're close to and what their signs are. Not just their sun sign, but their rising and their moon. You might be very shocked and surprised. Okay, thank you so much for the super chat, L. But that's a lot of air in your chart. It makes me wonder what that kind of personality would look like and be like. And thank you so much for the super chat. End up says Pisces sun, Aries moon, Scorpio rising. A lot of water. End up says, Kempire, we should be best friends. Well, no, Pisces women I get along really well with. And then the Aries moon, then the Scorpio. Yeah, we probably would be. Look, we probably would be. Is that Pisces? That made me go, Blanche, thank you so much for the super chat. Blanche says, I don't know my time of birth, so knowing Capricorn will just have to do. Well, there are some astrologers that could help you figure out your birth time and still do your birth chart. It's not impossible. You just have to actually have it done by an astrologer. Because there are a few people that don't know their birth time. I know quite a few people. Anytime you ask them their birth time, like, I got to ask my mom. You don't have your birth certificate in your own possession? Not all birth certificates are the same. So some birth certificates don't have it. Elle says, I'm a lot of fun, Kempire. I have a lot of Sag women in my life. No, I bet you're a lot of fun, but I'm just like, that's a lot of air. So you must be like... Hades says, hi, Kemp. I'm Thursday, November 16th, 1995. What was I doing in 1995? Look, I was graduating. I forgot what grade. 8th grade? I can't remember. All right. November 16th. So that makes you a Libra, right? No, that makes you what, a Libra? Really? No, that makes you a Scorpio. That makes you a Scorpio. Literally, my dad is November 17th. Okay, let me get to some of the callers, guys. Kay, it says devices not connected. So drop out and then call back in. There might be just an issue. Look, we're on StreamYard for lack of a better place to be. Okay. All right. Let me just say thank you, Fabiana. Thank you for the super chat. Fabiana says September 21st, Virgo, Libra rising, 1:30 p.m. I don't know my moon sign. Well, you know all of that. And you know where you were born, so you could be able to figure out your rising. You just have to find a good website that can tell you your rising, or go to an astrologer, because the astrologer will be able to explain everything in your birth chart. Duchess. I am a Libra, Sun in Libra, Moon in Gemini, so air, with a Pisces rising, water. Woo! I would want to get to know all of you guys just to see what that personalities are like. Capricorn Sun, Des, thank you for the super chat. Capricorn Sun, Virgo Moon, and Aquarius rising. So Earth, and Aquarius is air. A lot of people think Aquarius is water. No, it's air. So you're probably very grounded, very much about your money. That Virgo Moon probably would irk all of our nerves. But okay. But it works to your advantage, I'm sure. Okay. Yoselin, probably. I am a Taurus rising, Sun Gemini. Interesting. Okay. All right. Let me get to some of the callers that are backstage. Again, guys, this is your opportunity to call in. If you want to share your dating experience, your astrology opinion, this is your opportunity. We're testing this out. If y'all don't call in, I'm not going to be doing this, because I could sit and talk all day, but I do that already. I don't need to do that for another special live. Okay. This is about you guys. All right. Sierra has waited so patiently behind the scenes. So we're going to bring Sierra up. Hold on, Sierra, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Just calling in. I don't have a really good story to share. I wish I did.
That's
but
okay.
I'll tell you, I'm a Scorpio rising, Scorpio sun, Aries moon, and it's a whole lot of water and fire. It's a lot.
A whole lot of water and fire. And how is that working for your friends and family?
My mom's a Gemini. She's a double Gemini. So growing up, I was fighting for my life. Yes, it was a bit rough. And dating is a bit rough because I'm very Aries moon. We're impulsive. We're jokey, but we're serious, But then my Scorpio is like mysterious. I want to be away. I need to be, just not so present, but I want to be with you.
Oh, wait, Sierra, based off of your chart, what are some of the signs that you've dated the most?
Embarrassingly enough, Cancer men, trash. That is the craziest thing I've ever done in my life. You want to have your pearls clutched, fighting for your life every day? Do that.
I mean, look, she said it, I didn't. And she's a Scorpio.
Right. It's rough.
Yeah. Cancer men. Told you.
Wait, am I echoing or can you hear me fine?
I hear you fine.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, that was rough. But I recently, so I just moved. I was living in Brooklyn, so I was living in New York, and then I just moved to Chicago in July, end of July, early August, and I like it there. But again,
Chicago. Not now though. It's cold.
Right. Right now it's really cold. Yeah, I'm in Florida right now, still visiting family. I haven't gone back for the holiday yet, but which is good. But Chicago is nice. But it's just, I think, in the dating scene there is nice too. But
wait,
again,
why did you move?
Because it's Brooklyn. I was done. I was done.
But what do you mean? What happened? Look, don't talk about my city. No,
I know. Well, I think, one, I more so change. But I was my man is not here in New York. He's not here in New York. He's just not here. And I think I was listening to your live either earlier today or yesterday, where somebody was talking about like going on a date and going on like those longer dates. And people were like, oh, like when you go on a date for a few hours, it's like nice. And I did that with this Italian guy. We were literally on a date for 6 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the love of my life. Do you think I heard from him again? No. So I was like, okay.
You didn't see him again after that?
No. No.
What happened? Was it you just not, you're like, okay, this was cute, but I'm really not interested?
No, I was 100% interested. I texted him the next day. Kempire, I was already blocked. So you know me, I'm a Scorpio. I'm not, I know. I'm like, okay, there's something up. There's something going on. At that point, I remembered his first and last name from his ID. So I was like, okay, because we had met on Hinge. So I was like, okay, I'm going to find this man. So I actually ended up searching his... No, listen, no. I searched...
Seriously, I am going to find this man. Okay.
No, I'm going to find it. Because like, why would you block me after a 6-hour date? That's rude. So there's a Facebook group.
That is rude.
No, it's rude. It's rude. Like, just like, why would you do that? There's a Facebook group called "Are We Dating the Same Guy?" And I found. So I went to search his name in the Facebook group. Something, okay, you know, maybe his girlfriend's in here trying to see if he's cheating. But little did I know, I didn't find him, but I found my boss in this group because my boss was using us like a. So my boss is, and I don't work for this company anymore, so it's okay. His name
former
was,
boss then. So
sorry. Yes, my former boss, his name was Josh. And the Italian guy I was dating, like let's say his name was George, right? So I put in George and his last name. I don't find him, but I found a picture of my boss going under the name George on dating apps. So when it came up as George, it's not showing me the guy when I did it, it's showing me my former boss. So you know me, I break the rules a little bit. I sent a screenshot. I passed it around at work. I was already out the door. I was already quitting. I had a backup plan. All that to say, this story took a turn for no reason because I don't even know what happened to him. Seriously. Never found him on Facebook, never found him on Instagram, nothing.
So you weren't able to find this man?
No. And
you know his astrological sign?
Yes, I do. He was a Gemini.
Oh.
He was my mom reincarnated haunting me. Yes, it was right.
So he had a
more than likely he was married. Mm-hmm.
What?
I said, knowing Gemini men, more than likely he was married. Yes.
Or he was in a mood. Like it was all good that night.
Right.
And the next day he's like, I'm done.
And they wake up angry. Okay, thank you. So yeah, I was like, okay. But yeah, dating, I think everybody now is like, well, dating in a city is really hard. You move on. And that's a very easy, like convenient excuse. I do think it's out there. The dating pool is a little bad right now. We have to search, but it's just hard. It's hard when you want to protect your peace and you've been really happy, like alone. And you're like, oh, wait. I actually don't want to be alone.
Yeah, no, I get, and that's the thing. When you go so long of being by yourself or with yourself, as I like to say, it does become difficult in trying to now welcome other people into your life because you get so used to what they used to say on Sex and the City. You're single. You're, what is it called? The single something behavior.
Yeah.
So I mean, but okay. So you decided to move to Chicago because you like your love of your life is not here. Right.
Like love of my life is not here. You know, I like New York, but I'm tired of being in the dirt. I'm tired of, commuting from the express bus from Brooklyn to the city. I want something different. Right. So I'm like, okay, now I live in Chicago. I live in the Loop. I'm right by Lake Michigan. It's really nice. It's very Midwestern. I didn't know how Midwest it was going to be, but the guys are really nice. And they have like this like Midwestern hospitality, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But I still have that New York mentality. Like, you look at me crazy, like, resting bitch face on 100. You see?
Wait, what was you saying? You're Scorpio?
Scorpio rising, Scorpio sun, Aries moon.
So you said this, I was like, wait, Scorpio? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Like, I give you, like, the death stare, but it's just, like, like a little eye cut,
So it's hard to tell if it's the Scorpio or the New York in you.
Right. But
let me ask you a question, though, in regards to dating, because I can see that you are a Black woman, correct?
Yes.
How was it dating outside of your race? Because I know a lot of people are asking that. A lot of people are thinking, maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to start dating, outside my race.
Okay, so this is a really good question that you asked. I personally like it, but I do find it really hard. So, like, my background is my mom's from Belize, and my dad's from Belize, and my mom's from Grenada, and I grew up with my mom, so very much like Caribbean background, 100%. And it's much easier to date somebody from that background because we're into the same music, we're in the same food. Like you just like there's certain things like you just know how to relate, and like the culture is there. They know about Carnival. They know who Buju Banton is. Like they just know.
But they also know about the struggle of being
right?
A Caribbean person or a Black person. They understand
exactly. They understand that. And then when dating somebody who's outside your race, I do, but I feel like they take it more. Like for example, like all of the white guys I've dated have been very serious. Like outside of me getting blocked from that date, they like to move very serious. They're like, okay, like we're gonna date, and I'm gonna take you out, and I'm gonna pay, and you don't have to think about paying, and we're gonna move in this direction. I feel like they're more forward thinking, and that could be from the way they grew up too. Because my white female friends definitely grew up with that mindset of like, no, you're going to date them, then you're going to, get what you can and marry them. And we like, and if y'all break up between that, you're going to find the next one. Like there was no like, oh, and I grew up in a predominantly more like white community. And it was very much like their moms being like, you can date at 14, 15. I couldn't even tell my mom that I like the guy at 14, 15.
Right?
Like,
I know her parents.
Okay? And they're like, you need to be in the books and you need to be X, Y. And it comes from a good place, but then you miss out on a lot of social skills. I don't feel like I'm missing social skills. I feel like I'm missing like these relationship skills. And even in like platonic too, right? Like growing up, and I can, be honest and say this now, I think, in high school and college, that's where you make like a good chunk of friends and y'all go through ups and downs. I think a lot of like those relationship skills of like strong communication, telling people how you feel, not giving them the silent treatment. Like I gave like a female friend like the silent treatment, and I felt at the time I was like, well, I'm upset and I don't know how to tell her, so I'm going to kind of like ice her, and not again. It was all me, it wasn't her. But then that also trickled into actual relationships. And those communication skills and relationship skills that you need to be successful, I don't think sometimes in the Caribbean/Black culture you get. And it is really hard when you're older and you're like, oh, why am all my white, counterparts married, kid, C-suite exec, big old house on the lake, and I'm doing great, but I'm missing, this relationship. And that's not to say that they know how to do it better, because let's be real, white people be killing each other.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I think what you're mentioning is an important element, but there's definitely, we could have a whole conversation on why there are these differences, but that is an element to talk about.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think those skills are important. Like I think we've all been in a relationship with somebody where it was toxic, and they're arguing with you, or the way they're talking to you is not a way you want things to go, and you're trying to like push through, and they don't even understand why they're doing that themselves. And I do think it's important, one, why we should be teaching this to kids early on, of like how to communicate, how to be a good friend, how to be a good person, not just go to school and keep your head down and don't be in the way. Because that takes so much away from you outside. Because like once you leave college, you have to keep your head up. You have to be in the way. Yeah.
There's so many things that they don't teach us in school, and there's so much stuff that they teach us in school that we don't utilize at all.
Exactly. And I feel like a lot of Black women are feeling that now too, who are in their late 20s, like me, going into their 30s and even 40s, of like, I am so successful and I did so good in school, and I have like, I have a master's, but so many people who have done even more than what I have done, and they're like, why can't I get this right? So,
well, I'm glad that you came to share that, because I feel like we're going to continue this sort of open conversation and maybe figure it out, or help other people figure it out.
Yeah, I hope so too. And I'm very much, I'm down with the swirl. So maybe my man's in Chicago. Actually, maybe he's not in Chicago. Maybe, I don't know. But my goal I did put for 2025 was to be better in relationship building, platonic and romantic, and to get out. Because sadly, I only went on like 2 dates this year. That's unacceptable. I know, Kempire, we listen.
No, I shouldn't judge, because I think myself like, how many dates did I go on in 2024? But that also wasn't my goal. I think if I made it my goal, I definitely would have been dipping in and doing it.
Right.
But
right.
Before I let you go, Sierra, I want to know because you probably don't even know, but maybe you do, because it seems like you have been on this journey of dating. what are some of the characteristics, both physical, mental, spiritual, that you are looking for in your man? Because I know we have a large female community, but we do have some heterosexual men that watch on the low.
On the low. Hey, guys.
Hopefully not that much on the low. We're not tolerating that.
We're not talking about, right. Just, just a silent watcher.
Yeah, they want to know what's going on with Diddy. That's what it
exactly. Is. That's it. Main thing for me, physical, 5'9" and taller. Okay. That's it. And that's generous. I'm 5 foot, so I'm being generous. 5'9" and taller.
So it feels tall to you, 5'9".
So it feels tall. Correct. There we go. I would say has to be able to lead. I'm the eldest daughter, and I've always led. And I can lead, but has to be in the face, facing adversity and small things, if we're traveling or bigger things, if something happens, you can be able to figure it out and lead. Very solution-oriented provider. We don't do 50-50 around here. Very much has their own life and things together.
Yeah.
Without me, they can live their life. They have their own group of friends, they are outside of something. Yeah. And I would say, and also they're pretty fit. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Let's get it fit, okay? Because I'm about to be snatched 2025. Okay, so let's get it fit. But no, and I would say spiritually, same religion.
And what's your religion, if you don't mind me asking? I
believe in God. I go to church.
Christian?
So not too religious. I'm not Giselle Bryant. I'm not the Pope. Okay, I'm not First Lady. We can relax a little bit.
I don't know if I would even consider Giselle.
Right, because Giselle's so and she's a nasty Virgo. Who does a nasty little thing. So I just wanted to say that.
You could help yourself. I understand.
I couldn't. But yeah, that's it. I think as a good foundation of just a person, right? Doesn't speak ill on their mother, really has a respect for women, will call things out as needed, has their own mind. No. They're not on these random podcasts of Andrew Tate and God knows, and fresh and fit, looking, for guidance. Okay, they come from a 2-parent household, mother and father. Just a well-rounded person. And I don't think it's hard to find. I truly think I have not been looking in the right place.
Oh, where were you looking originally?
Hinge, Bumble, Tinder. I don't think I'm back into meeting people in real life. We have to go back to that.
So no more.
So I'm going to be no more online dating. I already signed up to attend a law conference. I'm not even in law. I work in marketing. I'm going to go to a law conference in January in Chicago. Okay. I'm about to have my outfit on point. Here's going to be late. I'm going to fresh sew in that weekend. Oh no, we're out. I need me an attorney. Somebody who comes from family money, doctor. Okay. I want to retire in 3 years.
Oh, in 3 years. Wow.
No, I'm
Are you joking?
Right. But no, but that's that's kind of where I'm at. So yeah, back into in real life dating. I'm going to a law conference. I'll keep y'all updated in January if something prosperous comes from it. But we're outside in a good way. We're not outside, in the club. We're outside we're going to conferences. We're going, wherever
you're consciously outside in the appropriate places, not necessarily
correct.
Because look, I don't know the percentage on how many people have actually found love in the club. Based on the conversations I've had, I don't really know a lot of people I met my husband in the club. Maybe in the 80s, but not in 24.
Exactly. I definitely think back in I have a lot of family members who are oh yeah, we met when we were out, at this party and a friend, right? And that's how it usually goes back then. Mm-hmm. It's not happening now. People in the club, they are going there to flex. They're going there to talk to 3,000 people. Mm-hmm. Be on their phone. No thanks. I'm going where the lawyers are, where the rich is.
And I think that's important. I think it's important to be in places, and this is not just with dating, to be around people and places of where you would like to be.
I agree.
And 100%. You will have people that have the same mindset.
Exactly. I'm going to have my job paid for 2 marketing conferences, one for marketing and AI, one for marketing. Look, I'm trying to tech where does the money reside? Sierra needs to be.
And I'm glad that you're saying that and you're honest about that. I think, especially as Black folk, we're afraid to say stuff like that, even though our counterparts are saying those things, and that's what they're attracting in their life.
All of my white female friends who are now getting engaged, they're very open and honest. Look, I told my friend to hook us up, or my friend, friend who is an attorney, and they're very about these connections being made. So I don't understand why Black people don't want to do that. Or just more scared to do it. But I'm going to be very honest. I'm not. We're here for connections. So law conference in January, you'll come see me. Marketing, let's go. We're outside.
And I think a lot of people are going to learn from this conversation just now. Anything else before we let you go?
No, nothing else. I hope you come to Chicago because I moved out of New York right when you were doing your shows.
I would. I know we have quite a few people in Chicago that want me to come, and I would love to come back to Chicago because I love Chicago.
Yes.
So stay tuned. I have a meeting on Monday, so we'll see.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you, Kempire. I'm a silent watcher. Sometimes I call in for Potomac with the mess, but just love having you here, and thank you guys for listening. And
thank you, Sarah, and thank you for calling in.
Of course. Have a good night, everybody.
You too. Take care. Kay, I'm going to bring you up in just a second. I just want to say thank you. We had a couple of super chats guys who are just joining us. This is a special live. This is not your typical. We're not talking about hot topics. We're not talking about reality television. We're talking about dating. We're talking about astrology. And we're trying to help each other. We're not judging each other. This is a safe space for everyone. So let's not judge people so that people will want to come up and share their stories, because I think we have a lot more in common than we don't have in common. And I'm talking about gay, straight too. Black, white, it doesn't matter. I feel like we have a lot more in common, especially when it comes to dating, and we can learn a lot from each other. Alma, thank you for the super chat. Alma says, I'm a Gemini with a Cancer moon and a Gemini sun. That's a lot of air and water. So when I think about that, I think of air and water creates waves. So it makes me wonder what your personality would be like, Alma. Julie, thank you for another super chat. Julie says, my daughter is a Taurus, May 5th, and the guy she's dating is a Leo in August. Try to get her off my payroll. Any chances of this going to marriage? I do know quite a few Tauruses and Leos that are together. So that might be a potential. How old is your daughter that you're ready to kind of get off your payroll? Oh, Julie is a mess. Twang-a-lang. Thank you for the super chat. I'm a Gemini sun, Gemini rising, and Capricorn moon. That's a lot of Gemini. I mean, I have a soft spot for Geminis. I don't love Geminis. I've dated one or two Geminis. Wasn't great, but I have a soft spot for Geminis. And apparently Geminis love me too, and they have a soft spot for me, but I kind of keep them at a distance now. Orange Sorbet was on Gucci's website trying to get something for our February show. Okay. Orange Sorbet, thank you so much for the super chat. Orange Sorbet says Leo rising, Scorpio sun, Gemini moon, fire, water, and wind. Whew. Yes, I'm a lot. And not for the faint of hearts. My ex is a Pisces, so he can go with the flow, but that's my ex. Oh, damn, Orange Sorbet. But I can see why that worked, the Pisces and the Scorpio. Reiki with Janaki. I met you, right? Which show did I meet you at? I can't remember. Was it in DC? Thank you for the super chat. Taurus sun, Libra moon, Gemini rising. I'm in love with the Pisces. I can't stop. I can't top or stop. Pisces and Taurus do work. I just don't love Pisces men. They're shady. Just saying. Mama Ali says, I did Kempire. I met Jay through a friend at a country club bar. A country bar / club. Wait, do you mean like a country club? Not like an actual club? Because, a country club and a club are two different things. I wasn't interested, but the damn man grew on me. Joey, thank you for the super chat. Joey says, sun in Aries, moon in Virgo, rising in Virgo, dating a Gemini. Huh. No, one of my good girlfriends is married to a Gemini and she's an Aries. So that apparently works. Something about that works. All right. And also, guys, that's important to pay attention to some of the relationships that you see in your life and what their signs are and if they're connected. You'd be surprised. Okay. Natasha says Gemini women are sweet. Do I know any Gemini women? I know a lot of Gemini men. Okay. All right. So let's get to some more callers. Again, feel free to call in, guys. I want to hear your stories. I won't be here long. We have like 3 or 4 people backstage. So if you remember, I've posted a call link on the community tab. I've also pinned the call-in link on YouTube for those that are watching on Facebook and Twitch and Twitter. We appreciate you guys being here as well. Let me bring up Kay next. Hold on one second, Kay. Kay, what's going on?
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Oh, I'm kind of nervous. I'm always like a lurker in the background, but like I'm kind of fangirling right now. Like I always watch a video of Kempire and I love you. So,
Thank you.
And that's saying a lot because I didn't like Tauruses growing up and you guys are still kind of growing on me. But, you know, I'm here.
What's your sign, Kay?
So, okay, let's get into this. I'm an Aquarius sun.
Okay.
A Taurus moon.
Okay.
And a Capricorn rising.
Okay, so you have a lot of Earth. And you said your son was Aquarius. So
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and my main chart, like the dominant sign in my chart is Capricorn. Like I have Capricorn pretty much everywhere.
And do you feel as if as a personality you relate a lot more with Capricorn?
I do. So like I have like my top 5 like zodiac signs where I'm just like, okay, these are like my, top 5 out of the 12 and Capricorn is definitely up there. I feel like, and I say this with love, Capricorns, but I feel like they do tend to be a little bit narcissistic, but I feel like I can handle that.
Because of everything else that's on your chart.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like I understand them, and I don't know, maybe the mixture of Aquarius and Taurus in me. I'm just like, as soon as they start to get in their little mood or act in that way, that narcissistic way, I'm like, okay, cut the shit. Excuse my language. So I don't know.
Okay. I dated one Capricorn. I don't know if I would label him a narcissist. I'm sure he would label me a few things, but whatever. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, like my favorites, honestly, because when I tell people my like top 3, I'm like, we listen and we don't judge. And I'm like, okay, let me tell you. Usually when I tell people my big 3, they're just like, oh, you ain't nothing to play with. And I'm like, not really. Like, I love to have fun. My favorite 2 zodiac signs are Sagittarius and Libra. So I really love like to just have a good time. But at the same time, I feel like I'm very grounded, where I'm just like, once I make my mind up on something, because even though I'm an Aquarius, it's still a fixed sign. Yes. And then with that Taurus being also a fixed sign, I feel like I'm like airy with my Aquarius, but then I'm rooted with my Taurus and Capricorn. So it's just like, depending on who you are, you get what you get.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah. In regards to dating, what are you single?
No, I'm married.
Okay. And what sign is your husband?
He's an Aquarius.
Oh, well, we've seen that Femtara was also married to an Aquarius and she's an Aquarius. Does that work?
It does. It does. I will say that at the beginning that we didn't necessarily define the relationship up front because we were friends. We met in college and we actually met through one of his friends. And we ended up just becoming friends, hanging out. And then we found out we had the same major. We found out we stayed in the same apartment complex. And then he would invite me, because my husband's not from the U.S. So he would always invite me over and he would cook for me. And I think my Taurus moon was like, girl, keep him. So studying turned into, he's from Kenya.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was he making you?
He was making me, okay, sorry for the Kenyans if I butcher it because my accent is very American. But he was cooking me like githeri, which is like potatoes and beans and like other vegetables mixed in. He would cook me ugali, which is like the East African version of fufu. He would cook me like nyama choma, which is like barbecued meat. So he would just cook me a lot of stuff. And then it went from studying. That's how I realize now that's how he would lure me to his house under the studying pretense. And I would get there and then we would end up doing everything but studying in a good way. And then it led to, other things but studying.
Oh, okay. Okay. And does he still cook for you?
He does. He does. Now we have a 1-year-old. We've been married. We graduated 2018. And this is like crazy for me to get on, YouTube and say all this because I'm very private. So hopefully no people see me like, I saw you on Kempire's channel. Like, that wasn't me. That was that wasn't me. But yeah, he still cooks for me. And I appreciate it. He definitely is like my partner where when I'm missing a step, he'll help me out.
Yeah.
And he'll catch me. So I appreciate that.
Oh.
And then my son, he was born I was so excited because he was supposed to be born on the cusp. My dad is December 21st, so he's a cusp baby. So he's Sagittarius Capricorn. And that was actually my son's due date. And I was like praying, even though I love Capricorn, I was like, I love Sagittarius a little more. So I was like, if you just allow me to have this baby a little early, I'll be so thankful. And so my son was born and I immediately did his chart. I'm not even kidding. I was in the hospital, like doing my son's chart. And he's a Sagittarius Libra. And I'm like, yes.
Wow.
I'm like, this is going to be my little road dog growing up.
Yeah. I mean, only an Aquarius would be excited about having a Sagittarius as a kid, though. That kid's going to be, wanting to.
But then I look at like Candace and her mom, and I'm just like, oh Lord. I was like, hopefully my son doesn't hate me. But I'm gonna be a great mom. So
yes. Oh, it's 11/11 here in New York. Everyone make a wish. Okay.
And I'm in Georgia, so it's 11/11 too.
Oh yes, I'll see. Everyone make a wish. All right. So anything else that you wanted to share, Kay? Any advice? Because you have your man, you have your baby. Like, what advice would you give to the single folk that are listening and watching?
I do want to start with one thing. I'm so sorry, Kempire. I know I kind of started off with some shade against Tauruses. It's just that y'all are so bossy and mean. But I realized the older that I get, and once I realized what my chart looked like, I realized it was not necessarily that you guys were bossy and mean. It's that I didn't want you being more bossy and mean than me. So don't come over here telling me what to do. Like, we can go on this road together, or you could get pushed to the side. And we're both kind of the same way in that aspect. So we're constantly just like pushing each other. But other than that, I love you guys. But we just have to find our flow with each other.
Are you planning to have any more children?
I want to have 2 more. But now that I'm in the thick of it with a 1-year-old, I'm like, you just never know.
Well, you know what? I curse you to have a Taurus.
Oh my God. I'm going to name him Kempire.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling in. Was there anything else that you wanted to share?
The advice, I would just say, because, I was born in 1995. So I was 23 when I got married. I'll be 30 in February. While I'm giving out a lot of details, people are really going to know who I am.
You haven't shared anything that I feel that people would judge you on.
Okay, good. But I will say, 2 things. I will say that my advice to other ladies, because I can't really give too much advice to men, but to my fellow ladies who are looking to get married, especially looking to get married young, is to just remember to hold space for yourself. Don't get so lost in the marriage and the idea of being a wife that you forget, that you're your own separate person, and you were who you were before you met this person, and that was enough to catch this person. So don't lose that part of yourself. Don't lose that oomph that, attracted this person into your life. That person's still there. Don't get lost in the idea of being a wife.
Definitely. Okay, we appreciate you calling in.
Okay, I appreciate you taking me. Oh, one more thing. Because I just feel like if you want to describe my personality perfectly, again, I'm a 95 baby, so hopefully you all understand the references. But I will say I'm a mix between Wednesday Addams, Lisa Simpson, and Phoebe Buffay from Friends. Like just all of them mixed into one. Just depends who I'm talking to.
You're an Aquarius.
Yeah.
Aquarius are known to be kind of like weird in a way. That makes complete sense.
Yeah. So I'm definitely Phoebe, but then I'm also Wednesday and then a little smart ass Lisa sometimes. So but thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for calling in, Kay. I'm sure you're going to help a lot of people.
I hope so. And I'll just be listening so I can get some good advice too.
Yeah, because look, how long have you been married now?
It'll be 6. Wait, hold on. Let me do my math. 2018. And then next year it'll be 7 years.
Okay, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
I curse you to have a Taurus.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything, Kay. Thank you for calling in.
I appreciate it. Keep on doing the amazing work you do.
Thank you, Kay. Take care.
Take care.
Kay knows her astrology, too. You guys noticed that? Kay knew her astrology. All right. We're going to get to some more calls. We have quite a few people backstage. I'm not putting a timer on everyone because I want everyone to feel comfortable. It's hard getting on here and sharing your story. So please allow people space. We listen and we don't judge. This is a very different live than we've done before. This is more about dating, astrology, and maybe in the future we can hook some people up. But we got to start inviting the heterosexual men around, okay? No judgment if you are a lesbian, though. Just saying, okay? Bling is the new black. Thank you for the super chat. They said, a Dallas show needs to be on your 2025 schedule. That will be on the conversation on Monday. I understand Dallas. Houston as well. Okay. All right. That felt a little aggressive. No point. All right. We have Janelle backstage. Janelle.
Bonjour, Kempire.
Haven't heard that in so long. Where have you been?
I know. How are you, darling?
Well, how are you?
I am good. Hello. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Bonjour.
Ooh.
Amen. I don't know what to say.
I don't know why I didn't know that you were a Sagittarius, or maybe I just forgot.
I think you forgot because I'm always repping Sagittarius hard. I'm repping Sagittarius super hard. I'm a Sagittarius sun, Aries rising, Aries moon.
Oh, that's why we vibe so well, because it's that Aries.
Yes. And see, I understand Tauruses very well. I stay away from y'all. I give y'all space. Because I know my energy and I know I can be a lot. And I'm like, let me give them space because I know me. Because I ain't going to stop being me. But I could remove myself from a situation real quick and then come back to you when you're ready.
Yeah. Look.
Yeah.
We know. We know. Okay, exactly. So that makes a lot more sense. So what are some of the signs that you have dated a lot and ones that you won't date ever again?
Oh, okay. Should I start with the positive or should I start with the negative? Okay.
Start with the positive. Let's be positive.
Okay. So I do love an Aries man. I do.
Okay.
I would say I do like it. There's something about, I know, here's what I think. Aries men, depending on their placements, because it's honey, that rising, that moon matters, but also that Mercury and that Venus matters as well.
Oh, yes.
because Mercury controls communication and Venus is over love. And I'm like, those two, it's like, and I'm a communicator. So if your communication's not right, oh, child, it's a wrap. So I would say I have found most success with Aries men because I think they understand my energy and understand, like, I do have, like, I think there is a strong masculine nature to me because I can take charge if I need to. But the thing is that I love it when I can trust that person to take charge, but they're still able to respect me at the same time. I think sometimes with people, regardless of gender, sometimes people think like, let me take charge, but also be disrespecting your prowess, disrespect who you as a person and your intellect and everything. And I think the people that I have found most success with respect my intellect, but I also respect theirs. It's mutual. And I understand that it's like, okay, I'm gonna let you take charge on this because I truly don't want to do it anyway. I was just gonna do it because no one else was going to do it. It's kind of like doing a group project. You're like, I guess I'll do the work. So it's like allowing me to kind of just like take this, like, because that Sagittarius sun kicks in. It's like, okay, let me just sit back and let me not have to do X, Y, and Z. And so Aries for sure. I love me a Libra. I really do. Because they love balance and I love balance too. And if I'm feeling really naughty and crazy, I'll do a Gemini. I shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
But I will.
But why would you do that?
Because
why would you be willing to do that?
Because I like danger.
Oh, with the Sagittarius in you.
Yes.
That makes sense.
I like danger.
Aries too. They like a little danger too.
I said this to a friend years ago. And then I got tested with it recently. And I was like, I said, I just want to date a Gemini so I can give them a taste of their own medicine. And then because I know I'm capable of doing it with my Sagittarius sun and Aries rising. And then I met someone who was a Gemini rising and a Gemini moon. And I was like, oh, forget it. Forget it. Forget it. Forget it. I take it back. I take everything back that I said years ago. I don't want none of it. But I would date them if I was feeling dangerous.
That sounds a lot more like Aries in a way. Yes,
because I touched the fire and I liked it. I should have touched the stove and ran away.
And learned from your lesson.
And learned from my lesson. And I was like, no, my hand's on fire. This feels cool. Just saying.
Are you currently dating? Are you out there? Are you on the apps? What are you doing?
I'm not on the apps because I hate the apps. You know what the thing is? I'm not currently dating only because I'm really focusing on my career. Okay. A lot of things have shifted in the last few months with my career, and it's made me take a really strong look. It's made me it's forced me to really like lean back and to look at like, okay, macro and micro level of my career, like what exactly do I want to do? How do I want to proceed next? And like what career can I do that really harnesses into my gifts, into my superpowers, and just really like focusing on that, because I feel like I got really caught up with a lot of peripheral drama that really like with people who were just not there for me. And so that's a huge reason why I have not dated. Also, dating in New York sucks.
Did you hear Sierra from earlier?
I heard a little bit. I didn't hear all of it, but
she was living here in New York, Brooklyn specifically, and she said she left. She said the dating here sucked.
Well, I don't know if you're into astrocartography. Are you? Kempire.
Say it in
cartography.
Cartography. What is that?
Kempire. For someone who travels as much as you do, I am surprised you don't know about it.
Me either.
Okay.
Teach us all. I think we're all going to learn something right now.
Yes. So astrocartography basically is, I'm trying to explain it the best way possible. And maybe there's somebody in the chat who can probably give a better explanation than me. And if you do, please do in the chat. So basically, in a nutshell, astrocartography is, it takes your birth chart And there are certain lines that the planets make, or your placements made when you were born. And based off those lines, there are certain locations throughout on Earth that are activated. So if your Venus MC line is activated, that means that probably is the best place where you can find love. If your Saturn line is activated, that's one of the best places for you for your career, because Saturn is over career, and so on and so forth. So for me, for instance, my Saturn line is right over New York. So it's like New York is great for me career-wise. However, it is nowhere near my Venus line. And it was like, and I remember talking to an astrologer about it earlier this year, and she was like, yeah, New York is not meant for you love-wise.
Oh, so where do you have to go to find love?
Surprisingly, Los Angeles.
But that would work for you in your career too, though, right?
Yes, it would. So Los Angeles is near my Venus and also my Mars line. And Mars is over not just ambition, but also sex. So I won't go into detail, but if you know, you know. And so...
No, I don't know.
Well, about Mars, I can't talk about it on YouTube, Kempire.
Why can't we?
I mean, we can. But
this is what the live is about. I mean, if we can censor it a little bit, we don't want to get flagged. But...
Right. I don't want to get you in trouble. How do I... Okay, because I know certain words are not allowed on YouTube. I'm thinking. Basically, your Mars placement also represents like your ambition and how you're going to pursue the things that you really want, whether that's your career, your love life, and whatnot. But also it represents your sexual prowess. And also what type of things you like to do.
Oh, okay.
In the bedroom.
Like what you're into. Your fetish.
Yes.
Like that.
Another reason why me and the Gemini rising / moon would never work out, because I would be devastated in the best way possible, but I would never get anything done. And I need to be focused. I need to be focused. Okay. And he would have me distracted.
Living in LA, since it works both for career and for those other parts of your chart?
I have thought about it. I've had a lot of friends who told me they don't want me to move to LA, not because of personal reasons, but they don't think it'd be the best fit, because LA has really become, a lot of opportunities have dried up in LA since the strikes. And so they're thinking more so career-wise of like, yeah, you may find love, but it's like also like, career-wise is not great right now. And I mean, I can go on a whole diatribe about why it's not working out. It has a lot to do with these executives at the top and these streamers and so on and so forth. But yeah. And also another city though that got activated through my Venus line was London. And I love me a British man. I love an English man. I am a sucker for an accent. I'm not even gonna lie.
I do like an accent too.
I love an accent. I mean, I lived in Ghana, and I looked at my line in Ghana. Venus was kind of near there, which made
not kind of near there.
Kind of near there.
But
it kind of made
sense
for all the things I did in Ghana. So yeah.
But it's better than New York.
Oh, it's 1,000% better than New York. I would say definitely look up astrocartography, because like it really gave me insight into like where certain places were just highlighted based off like what planets and whatnot.
Yeah. And
you have to know what each planet represents, which ones intersect, and so on and so forth. And so like when an astrologer told me like, oh yeah, New York is not activated for you when it comes to love and relationships. Like it's not you. You're just not in the right place for that, but you're in the right place for career.
And now it's your focus.
And that makes sense, because right now I'm focused. Like my Saturn is extremely activated in New York City, which makes sense. And so, but my Saturn's also activated in other places as well. So if I ever decide to leave New York, it won't be the end of the world, because I know I'm not going to go without. I think that's the mindset. Like sometimes I feel like when you're thinking about leaving a place, sometimes it's that fear of like, will I be just as successful or will I be even more successful than I was when I was living at X, Y, and Z? And that's the feeling I had when I first left Orlando, because that's where I'm originally from. But Orlando on my chart is activated by home and family, which makes sense because that's where I was born and raised. But it's not activated by my Saturn. So it made sense that I was like, yes, I always can be able to go back home. Home is always going to be there. But I need to go elsewhere to pursue what I want to do.
Yeah.
And
do you have like a timeline in regards to how long you're going to focus on career before you get back into looking for love?
Honestly, okay. So my impulsive self is like, girl, just go find love and hope for the best. That's my impulsive side. It says so, caution all to the wind and just go have fun.
Sagittarius, okay.
Hello. But I'm thinking 6 months. I think because you know what? Between 2020 and 2024, it has been so up and down career-wise. And now I finally feel like I'm getting into a place where I can like focus on what really matters to me, and like what really matters to me is so illuminated in front of me, I cannot hide from it. And that makes sense. And that honestly makes sense to me because Pluto just ended its time in Capricorn and is now officially in Aquarius. And 2025 is a 9 year. So that 9 represents transformation, change, but also endings and healing. And so it just makes sense to me that with Pluto going into Aquarius, it's like, yeah, of course now you feel like there's a certain weight off your shoulder. And also my North Node is in Aquarius, and the sign Aquarius is going to be activated throughout the year of 2025. So if anybody has any Aquarius placements, like look at where it is in your chart, and like and everyone has a house in Aquarius. Everyone has a house in each of the 12 signs. Like look at where Aquarius is on your chart, and most likely that house is going to be activated during this year.
You see what Mr. Melon Magic says? Get that career and your back broken at the same time, honey.
Yes, Miss Melon Magic, you are preaching to the choir. Well, you know what I read the other day, and I was like, I hope this astrologer is wrong.
Wow.
This astrologer said, because of my rising sign, it said that I was one of the top 5 signs most likely to get pregnant. I said, I bet it better be pregnant with opportunity.
You never know. Sometimes when they say stuff like that, it does mean other things. Like you're giving birth to something else.
Please let me give birth to something that's not an alien life form right now. Because I am not, because as much as I want to be a mother in the future, the mothering shall wait. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Okay, thank God for all of modern science and IVF and surrogacy and adoption, but we don't know her yet.
I see a lot of people in the comments say, in regards to searching for love, don't search for love. Let love find you. Here's the thing: we talk a lot about manifestation here on the channel. Along with manifestation, it's not just wanting something or putting it out there. You also have to put a little action in.
Right.
And I believe, and that's something that we can discuss and talk and learn, especially from other people that are currently in marriages and relationships. You do have to put forth effort. And if you're in your house 90% of the time, the man is not going to come knocking on your door, or the woman, no judgment. They're not going to come knocking on your door. Sometimes, but depending on what you're looking for, that might not be the person. Okay. So
right. And I think also, and so the astrologer that I spoke to in October, we had an in-depth reading. I was like, because she was very intrigued by me because
I can't see why.
Hello, thank you, boo. It's because she was like, I can tell you're very spiritually inclined, because like I do tarot, and I'm a very spiritual person. So I was like, I'm glad you picked up on that. Great, because I was not trying to give her any hints. I was like, I want you to see if you can read my energy. But she made it very clear to me. It's like, I think when you meet your person, it's going to be meeting your person in your line of work, and meeting that person where you are near your passions and where your gifts are the most activated. And so I said, you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I've always had that feeling. And I've had friends like literally just tell me, girl, stop. Like, girl, stop. You need to try. But I remember saying to my best friend, who's the only one who ever took me seriously on it, I remember saying to her, I said, have you ever heard of an app called Raya? And she said, no. I said, that's where like a lot of like celebrities and influencers use and blah, blah, blah. I'm not on there. But I said, but I feel like that's where I would find my person. I'm not saying that's where I would actually find that person, but I feel like that is where most likely I would find my person.
That's what you intuitively feel.
Right. And she was like, because she would be around other artists. I said, yes. And she goes like, okay, what's wrong with that? And I was like, this is why you my best friend. This is why you're my best friend.
What's your best friend's sign?
She's a Virgo sun and a Sagittarius rising.
Oh, so that makes sense.
Yeah, because I don't know how we're friends if we were just based on sun signs. Because I drive her crazy. Because I am so all over.
I'm sure you still drive her crazy because she's a Virgo. So.
Oh no, I do. Because she wanted us to choose dinner. I mean, choose a restaurant for dinner, and I was just like, "Girl, I don't know. Let's do Cheesecake Factory." And she was like, "Janelle."
At Virgo.
And she goes like, "Can we please do something else?" Because Virgo's like high class. They like fancy things. I said, girl, I just want some cheesecake.
That's how Virgos and Tauruses do get along. I mean, they work my nerves, but that's where we would agree.
Right. It's like, listen, I don't mind fancy too. I'm bougie. My whole family bougie. Okay? Okay? We're not bougetto, famously coined by Candy. But we definitely, you know what? My cousin said we boutry. We bougie and we country all at the same time. We boutry. I love me some cheesecake. I am not for this. People were giving cheesecake slander because that girl was like, I would never have a first date at Cheesecake Factory. I said, for you, I wouldn't mind. Listen, Cheesecake Factory is not cheap.
That would have been an interesting conversation. I remember when that moment went viral when she was like, she put her nose up at going to Cheesecake Factory for a date. I mean, some people agreed with her. Some people don't agree with her. Clearly, you don't agree with her.
Let me tell you something, Kempire. Let me tell you something. Now, me and one of my good friends, we used to. When I used to come home for like breaks when I was in college, we used to sit in my car Wednesday nights. No joke. Actually, we kind of did in high school too. But anyway, we would sit in my car after we ate cheesecake in the parking lot because Wednesday night at the local Cheesecake Factory was date night. Okay? And so we sit out there. I'm like, okay, who gonna be macking in the parking lot? Every single time. There would be people be doing stuff in the parking lot at Cheesecake Factory. That cheesecake be hidden, okay? I mean, I saw two dudes living their best life right in front of my car. And at one point, the kiss got so deep, me and my friend were like, yeah, get it! And both dudes stared at us and we had to hide. People be getting it. People be getting it at Cheesecake Factory.
Here's the thing. I know I said that, I agree with your Virgo bestie that, we would want something a little bit better than Cheesecake Factory, but I'm not opposed to Cheesecake Factory.
Right. Listen, I love me some Cheesecake Factory when you want a good old, like, when you go to Cheesecake Factory, more times than not, you're going to have a good time. But I love a little high class mode myself. But I think like, it's good for like a birthday dinner or yes, it is.
I did not know that.
It is. I'm telling you. I swear to God. I saw this hetero couple. It is an aphrodisiac, Alexis. What? It is. Let me tell you something. I saw this hetero couple. They were walking. They were walking towards the car and they were arguing. Okay, the girl was mad at her man. I don't know what they were mad at. I couldn't really tell. It was a different night. Me and my friend, we were just like watching. Like we were there with our proverbial popcorn, just like watching folks doing stuff at Wednesday night at Cheesecake Factory. And the dude, he did this like slick, like dance move. I don't even know how to describe it. It was kind of like, oh, come on, baby. And he pulled her in and she was like, no. And he was like, come on. And then they started making out. And then they went into the car, but they went into the back seat.
I didn't know this was going down at the Cheesecake Factory.
I'm telling you.
The Cheesecake Factory, I am there to eat.
I'm there to eat too. But other people are there to eat other things, if you know what I mean.
That's right. Y'all be hooking up the Cheesecake Factory with all them children.
Yes, that's why they got all them children.
Oh wow,
Red
Lobster walks with the Cheesecake Factory. Right. Wow.
Hello, I'm telling you, Wednesday night. Now I don't know if it happens anymore because I haven't been a voyeur at Cheesecake Factory in a very long time. But I know pre-pandemic, okay, pre-panorama, Wednesday night, Cheesecake Factory is where it's at. I always made sure me and my friend, I ain't gonna say her name because I ain't trying to embarrass her out here in these streets. It's not the bestie, it's another friend. We be out there sitting in my car watching folks because it just be entertaining.
Okay.
Okay. I'm telling you, Cheesecake Factory is where it's at. See, I didn't come out here to talk about Cheesecake Factory, but now you got me talking about it. Okay, I came in here to talk about astrology and love, and all that stuff.
I mean, that's talking about love. I mean, who knows? People can meet their boo at the Cheesecake Factory.
I'm telling you, well, it didn't work out for me because again, Orlando and New York are not nowhere near my Venus lines and are not near my Mars place, my Mars line.
Well, maybe try London or just go take a visit.
I need to try London because you know what? I can't date in the state of Florida because I have so many cousins. I don't want to accidentally date somebody that I'm related to.
No. Yeah, try London.
And because I tell people that and they think I'm kidding. And then I show them my ancestry DNA and they're like, oh, wow. And I'm like, yep, I got that many cousins on both sides of my family. I cannot take chances.
No. You might need to leave the U.S.
Of my success. Because my last true love was overseas. So I was like, based on that, I need to go overseas.
Well, don't wait too long. I know you're giving yourself 6 months, which I think is realistic when it comes to, trying to do your goals, your career goals. But definitely, I think those both are important. I think a lot of people, including myself, prioritize career. However, you don't realize what love can add to your life and your career and your success in that way. So,
right. And I think for me personally, I want to meet someone who is of equal. Yes, go get that cheesecake, Loretta Forbes. Go get that cheesecake, okay? Don't you ever stop yourself from getting some good cheesecake, okay? But I think for me, it's like because I have such a strong personality and I do consider myself very intelligent. I joke around. I be silly. I be stupid sometimes, but I do consider myself very intelligent and I'm a person, and I read this and I always knew this about myself, but it was confirmed when I was reading a horoscope recently. I was like, you are a person that enjoys deep conversations. Like you can't do surface level for too long. You kind of start to lose it. And I'm like, that is so true because I don't have ADHD, I don't think, but I feel like one of the symptoms of when you start kind of your brain starts going all over the place. I feel like that's what happens to me in surface level conversations. And
that's worries in you.
Yeah. And so I need somebody who is going to be my equal in career, who's going to be my equal in intellect, and who's going to be my equal in so many other parts of my life, because I don't want to be told what to do. I want to be able to relax and know I can trust that person. And then they also feel that same way about me, where they're like, oh, Janelle got me. And I can be like, oh, so-and-so got me. And we're good. And I think for that to happen for me, I personally need to get to a place in my career where I feel like I don't have to be at the climax point, but I need to be in a way where I'm putting myself first and taking care of myself career-wise, health-wise, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, where I'm putting myself first in a selfish way, in a positively selfish way, not self-centered, where then I will start attracting the people in my life that will meet me on my level. And I truly believe that. And so, I will find somebody. I was feeling I'll find somebody in 2025, but I don't know who, because I'm picky, because they gotta be taller than me. I'm 5'8", and I love a 6 foot or taller.
Okay.
I would do 5'11".
You might need to go. I mean, London, I don't know if they're known for their height, but definitely places like the Netherlands, they're very tall men. I don't know if that falls in your love line over there, but
I could look it up.
Yeah.
I can look it up. I love the Dutch. I love tulips. Tulips are my favorite flower. You know, I don't mind. I don't mind going to a cafe. Wink, wink, wink. Bonjour, bonjour.
Oh, and if you know,
how do you say hello in Dutch?
I should know this. I've been there so many times. I don't know. Oh wait, it's height. Isn't it like height or something like that?
It's height.
Something like that.
Height. Okay. Like let me partake in it. I would like to go to the Netherlands. I also was looking up because I used to live in Accra, Ghana, so I was like, maybe I need to go back. Maybe if I meet, an educated brother, maybe I should go to South Africa and be like, what's up? How you doing? None of my lines fall over Australia, so I think Australia is out of the picture. I've been to Australia. It was amazing. And I saw those men surfing.
Oh.
It was gorgeous. It was a gorgeous view.
I bet. All right. Janelle, we have a few people backstage, so I want to get to them, and it's getting late, but we appreciate you calling in. I hope you'll call in again when we do another Kempire, Dating with Kempire.
Of course, honey. I'm there with bells on.
We know. Thank you, Janelle.
All right. Good night, darling.
Good night. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
All right, guys, we're going to get to some more callers, and thank you to everyone that was waiting patiently behind the scenes. Tika said, let me tell you how crazy my circle is. My mother is a Sag, my daughter is a Sag, and my husband is a Sag. Literally all the most important people in my life. Mind blown, but I'm a Scorpio. Wow. That's so interesting. I do say that it's important to pay attention to the astrological signs that surround you. IB says, I can't date while broke or before I accomplish a certain goals. You're a Capricorn, right, IB? So that makes complete sense. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. If you would like to call in, if you remember, it's on the community tab, but it's also pinned to our YouTube live chat. So if you want to call in and share your dating experience, or if you have a question about dating or astrology, feel free to call in. We've got Rahina backstage. We're going to bring Rahina up next. Rahina, what's going on? Rahina, you're muted. Rahina, you're muted. Did Rahina walk away? Rahina! All right, Rahina, we'll come back to you. Rahina. All right, Mama Allie's backstage. We'll bring Mama Allie up. Mama Allie, what did you want to talk about or share?
Well, I'm glad I didn't run to get my power cord like I was going to.
You'd be like Rahina.
No, I just wanted to say, no, I have been kicked out of actual country clubs. So it was not a country club that I met my husband. A country
music club?
It was a club that played. It was called Stirrups, and it was a country music club. And met him. Was not looking. I had literally just been divorced that day. The final divorce went through that day, and I went with a girlfriend to go celebrate. She introduced me to him, and couldn't stand the man, thought there was just something about him. And then he asked me out on a date. He showed up in cowboy boots and Ariat jeans and an Ariat shirt. And I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you that he wasn't some other guy that I would normally date. He was a country boy. And so, you know what? If you're looking and you're just not finding it, I'm one of those people that truly believe don't look. And that's when you find them. That's when they show up in your life, is when you're not looking.
And because you were married before, right, Mama Allie?
Yes. Yeah.
What was his sign?
He was a Sagittarius, and him and I did not get along.
No, and you're a Taurus like me. I could have told you that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, men, Sagittarius. No.
Okay. But you like to live on the wild side, because you still ended up with an Aquarius, which is not wild necessarily, but in some ways they can be wild, and they're not straight and narrow. They're a little weird and quirky in a way.
Yep.
Something about that is attractive to you.
Yes. I don't like. I don't want to say I don't like traditional men, but I don't Like, I want a man who's going to challenge me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And my current husband, Justin, really does challenge me. And my girlfriend always teased me that I needed a man who would look at me and tell me no. And Justin does that. He looks at me and he tells me no. Doesn't mean that I listen to him, but
that's very Taurus of you.
Yeah.
Very Taurus.
But no, when you're not looking.
How long have you guys been married?
We've been married. This year would have been this year was 2024. We were together 13 years, married 11 years.
Wow. So you guys have been together for a long time.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
and is there any advice, especially because you've been married such a long time, and I don't see a lot of Tauruses with Aquarius. What would be like the best advice would you give to other folks that are currently single and looking?
I just get to know yourself, know who you are first. I mean, honestly, I know that sounds so cliche, but know who you are first, because you cannot go into a relationship, like a serious relationship, if you're not sure of who you are. And when I got separated from my first husband, I can honestly say I didn't know who I was. And the year of our separation and divorce being finalized, I didn't date. I did mess around. I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit wild. I sowed my oats when, during that time, but I learned a lot about who I was. And when I met Justin, I could look at him and say, this is my past. This is what I've gone through. This is what I've overcome. And this is what I want. And if you can't give that to me, then there's no reason for us to go forward. And he was just like, okay, I'm down.
Okay.
And so, I mean, just get to know who you are. Like, if you're not sure who you are or what you want, just take the time. Really get to know you. Date yourself. I know that sounds so cheesy, but date yourself.
Yeah, it's important. It's important. Mama Allie, thank you for calling in and sharing your story.
No problem. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know, there's no way that it was a country club. I was kicked out of those when I was in high school and college for doing stupid things with golf carts and alcohol. So
thank you for calling in, Mama Allie. Have a good night.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. We're going to bring up Rahina again. Hold on. Rahina, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I usually don't call because I get so nervous. I'm sorry. My phone just froze and I didn't. I'm in the big screen. Oh, my God.
Are you okay? I wasn't sure. You're okay?
No, it's okay.
You're on camera.
You told us to get ready. You were like, you're going to be on camera.
Rahina, only person follow the rules.
I have my puppy here.
Okay, see your puppy?
Oh, no, he died. I have another dog. But this one died. But anyways, I'm an Aries. I don't know if you knew that. And I have a son who is also an Aries born in April 2nd. And my husband's a Gemini. I don't know.
But that works. One of my best friends, married, has been with her Gemini for years.
Yeah.
Somehow that works.
I know. I guess he's very patient. And he takes
yes, because you Aries.
He lets me be me. And I feel like a lot of scholars have mentioned that when you're married, just not to forget who you are and be you. And I feel like if I was not able to be me and live the life that I've had before, I don't know if I would be able to be where I am in my relationship with a child and my husband. So,
yeah. What was it a journey? I don't know if you're willing to talk about this. Was it a journey though to get where you are with your husband now? Oh,
I mean, okay. So wait. So I was in a relationship before. I was engaged before.
Okay.
And it was a white person, right? Crazy. My husband's also white. Anyway, so, I know, right? So he was from Martha's Vineyard, right? I moved there for the summer. He ended up being a cheater. We still went on. I was crazy at the time. We still went on and got engaged. And we were engaged for 3 months, and then he became abusive, called off the wedding. And then I dated for 3 months. And then I met my husband 3 months later. So I was like really nervous that my husband would have been a rebound, but I don't think he is. It's been 8 years now. So.
8 years you've been with your
It's
husband?
been a long time now, yeah.
And what was the sign of your other fiance?
Cancer. Can you imagine?
Oh, see? What I tell you.
My sister's a Cancer.
Mm.
And you say that Cancers lie, and I think they do. She lies a lot.
wait, who?
My sister's a Cancer. She fibs a lot.
This is catching strays right now.
Love her dearly, but she fibs a little.
Fibs a little. What are your parents?
My parents. My mom's a Cancer.
Okay.
She also lies a little, and my dad's a Taurus. My dad's a Taurus. My dad's great. I love my dad.
Damn.
Yeah. Sorry. I love my mom too, but my dad's awesome.
Yeah. Wow. So when you met your husband, because you met your husband after your other fiance within that 3 months of dating, what was the process of dating? Was it daunting? Like what mindset were you in?
I was in the mindset of doing me and just like fucking around because I didn't have the time to. Yeah. And I was online dating and I met my husband online and he canceled our first date. And I know. And then my roommate was like, don't go out with him. And I just wanted to just like F-U-C-K. So I was like, I'm just going to go. And then we went
out. Aries. I know you like a book.
Yeah, I was like, I don't care. And then we went out and our date was till the next day, but we didn't get intimate that night. So I just had such a great time with him that we just kept on hanging out ever since. And I think we were together every day since.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would you say that it feels like a soulmate connect? You know, I don't believe soulmates in the way that it's usually defined, but do you feel like it's one of those?
I felt connected to him because once I met him, I knew that this is a good person. I was like, after 3 months, I was like, you're going to be my husband. And he was like, you're crazy. Yeah. He was like, you're fucking crazy. I was like, okay. I know. But yeah.
And when did you guys get engaged?
We got engaged 3 years after dating.
Okay.
And then
which is probably very in line with your comfortability.
Because we moved fast. So 3 years after dating, we got engaged. And then we got married in 2021.
Oh, during the pandemic.
And then we got married again. I don't know. We got married again for the people in 2022.
I'm going to tell you something. One of my very good friends, best friends, also Aries, married to a Gemini, got married in 2021.
That's funny.
After she was dating him a long time though. Got married in 2020. I'm telling her all her business, but y'all don't know who she is.
Maybe we'll meet her.
and she had say it again.
Maybe we'll meet her. I don't know.
Oh, maybe one day. And here's the thing: she got married in 2021. They had a very justice of the peace wedding, and then they had like a big to do for his side of the family and things like that. So
yeah,
so funny how both Aries and Gemini I
know. Geminis are very patient. I don't know about the women, but the men are very patient, but they do have two sides. I feel like the second side is like when they get upset is just like so heightened.
Yes.
That's what I see with my husband. He gets very like, you need to like let him get his whatever he needs to get out. I don't know.
But one of the things that you also said, which my Aries bestie also has said, the Gemini man allows you to be you because you know how Aries can be.
Yeah, we're outside. I've always been, but for me, my outside means I'm out with my friends, I'm dining, I'm going out, and I don't want people telling me what to do. And I find that my husband is very secure in who I am, who we are. So he's not like super like controlling on like, he's not. Yeah.
Wow. Where's your husband now?
Where he's playing guitar right outside the bedroom.
He's playing guitar?
Yeah, right out there.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a dancer. He's an artsy fartsy person.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you met him on an app?
Yeah, I met him on Bumble.
Oh. Okay.
First, when he was a dancer, I had to like make sure that I was like, "Are you gay? It's okay." And he was like, "I get this all the time." I'm like, okay, making sure, but yeah, he's a modern dancer. So
wow.
Yeah.
Do you mind us asking what you do for a living?
No, I'm a women's health nurse practitioner.
Wow.
Very
Okay.
different.
That's very different. Like
I get us the insurance, Kempire. Just
say it
saying.
again.
I get us the insurance.
Of course.
So
different balance to the relationship.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Very different. So.
Yeah, but it works.
It does work. I mean, yeah.
8 years in.
8 years in, the baby after. So. Dun, dun, dun.
And how old is your baby?
He's 19 months, about almost 2.
So
yeah.
Young. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to have more?
Just one more.
Just one more. I cursed with a Taurus, not playing.
Just one more. And I wanted to mention I think a caller named Kay called and she was like, I think I'm a good mom. I want to say to her that she's a great mom. As a new mom, you second guess yourself a lot. So I want to say to Kay that she's a phenomenal mom. She's a great mom. And I'm sure she's doing like the best that she can.
No parent is perfect.
Right.
That's why I never try to judge parents. I know Tyler Perry recently came out and talked about, his son only gets Legos and books and everyone has their opinion on. Look, at the end of the day, the way you choose to raise your children is your choice. As long as you're not abusing them.
Exactly.
For me, it's like, whatever, that's your child. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Okay. Any advice that you would give to other people that are looking to find love in marriage and the baby?
I would say stay open. Be open-minded. Be spontaneous. Be you. Be a little crazy. If you're crazy, don't be afraid to let yourself show. You know what I mean? Let your crazy show. So, yeah. Dating dating in an interracial relationship, I want to say, is it's very challenging when it comes to cultures. Putting cultures together, like meshing everyone together. But I would say stay open to all. So.
Okay. All right. Wait, I see someone had a question for you in here. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Paige says, any advice, Rahina, for maintaining a healthy relationship and quality time after a baby? I'm expecting my first with my boyfriend now due in March. Paige, congratulations.
What we do might not be, what everybody else does, but I drag the baby to anything that I want to do for me. Mm-hmm. I bring my baby, and there's nothing wrong with you, putting you first. Like, remember that you had a life before your child, you had a life before your husband. So it's good to give yourself time and love, because if you do not, I think that you might lose yourself. The beginning is a little bit rough, Kempire. And caller who asked the question, it's a little rough, but I would say always make time for yourself, make time for your marriage. And also, if you don't have a sitter, you don't have anybody to step in, you can always bring your baby into your life. Don't change your life around for your baby. Integrate your baby into whatever life you had before. That's what I would.
No, that sounds like perfect advice, and that's one of the things that I learned. Mind you, I learned this watching Oprah, when I was 10 years old, and she had someone on saying that a lot of couples do it wrong. They focus on the relationship. They focus on the children instead of focusing on the relationship. Mm-hmm. When that's what you should be focusing on, because that will create a happy child.
You know what? I feel like when I focus, if it's just about the baby, I would lose the connection with Aaron, my husband. So it's I want it to be I don't know if it's an Aaron. I always want to feel connected, and I want it. I don't know. I just feel like it works better for us when we integrate our baby into our life.
Yeah,
I've brought the baby to dates and stuff. We get dirty looks, but whatever. Who cares?
Who cares? At the end of the day, you've had a good time.
Yeah.
Okay. So. All right. Well, we appreciate you, Rahina, calling in and being on camera for us.
I know. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Kempire.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
This is really good, y'all. This is really, really good. Let me say thank you. First of all, Anne. Hey, Anne. Anne said, married to a Dutch man. Will not recommend unless you do research. Are you still married to this Dutch man? Dutch believe in going Dutch, i.e. 50-50, particularly older Dutch. They are also less likely to get married. I have heard some things about Dutch men because, I know quite a few Dutch folks over in the Netherlands. I have heard that in regards to it's a cultural thing. But Janelle was talking about height, and I was like, well, Dutch men are really tall. Tia says 11 years for me and my husband, Pisces woman and Aries man. Okay. Loretta, thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate your support. Thank you. Scherster, thank you so much for the super chat. Scherster says, I've been married for 15 years, Taurus sun, Gemini moon, Aries rising, to a Virgo sun, Virgo moon, Lord have mercy, and Libra rising. Scherster, we've talked about this. I know he irks your nerves every once in a while, but it works. It definitely works. But thank you for sharing. Woo, Scherster. That's a lot of Aries. All right. So Tia has been waiting patiently behind the scenes. We're going to bring Tia up in just a second. Jen, thank you so much. Jen says, Kempire, you need to do date night Fridays more often. I'm enjoying this. We've been testing it out. We've been testing it out, and I think we all can learn from each other. And I think because we have such a large community of women, and I'm going to try and get the men to come in here too. So because you just never know, maybe we'll make some love connections. And I've always said that a lot of heterosexual men need more gay men in their lives because we could help you not just with your dressing and your style or your culture, but we could also get you together with your women. This is why you're still single. Okay. Anyways, let's bring up Tia next. Tia, what's going on?
Ooh. Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, perfect. I am a Capricorn moon, sun, and Virgo rising.
Oh.
My parents were a Scorpio and a Taurus, and they were together for decades.
Wow.
I would like something like that in my life, but I live in a small town. I've been trying to find somewhere else to move, but I'm not sure where. I was looking at DC because I live in Virginia, but I've heard a lot about the dating scene not being the best.
Yeah. That's why they want you to come down there and do something.
So I was wondering if anyone in here had suggestions about possibly better dating scenes.
Can I ask where you are now? You don't have to tell me specifically.
I'm in Southwest Virginia, so I'm in the mountains. Before that, I lived in Chicago.
And how was that dating scene?
The dating scene wasn't terrible, but it wasn't the best for me career-wise.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Look, I feel like the fact that you're willing to try somewhere else, but like we said, there have been some folks that have said dating in DC, dating in New York is not the best. Live chat, and those of you watching the replay, because I know Tia will go back and she'll see the comment section. Where are some of the cities in America, or maybe not America? Are you opposed to moving abroad?
No, I'm not opposed to it. It's just I have a lot of family here, so I'm not really wanting to leave for long periods of time.
Of course. But just saying, just something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Because you just never know. Have you tried any apps?
Again, it's small here, so if you go on the apps, you're going to come across the same few people, and it's trash. I'll just be honest, it's trash.
Going on the apps and going in other locations, though.
I've tried that, but where I'm located, when you look at other locations, they always send you to Ohio.
Oh.
And I'm like, that doesn't really work for me because it's the same people, because when you're in this area of the Mid-Atlantic, everyone ends up in Ohio. Everyone's got a cousin in Ohio. So it doesn't work out.
Okay. Maybe try a different app, because I know certain apps you can actually go to a specific location that you want to look and even put your location there. Like I think Hinge you're able to do stuff like that with, and then you'll sort of show up in that particular location. So if there's a particular place that you want to start dating, try that, maybe like the DC, DMV area,
and try dating that way, because you're still not that far from the area, and that's kind of where you want to be, possibly, or try another location. But I think you should try that as one of your options. Are you opposed to maybe a matchmaker?
No, I'm not. It's just that the majority of the ones that are available in this area, they tend to be either based in religion or based in ethnicity, and they tend to not be mine. So yeah, so it's not a service that's available to me.
Well, I will implore you, very much like with the apps, there are plenty of matchmakers that are not in your area that would be more than willing to work with you wherever you want to look for love.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like we've spoke with Tana before from Love Match Atlanta, who's a matchmaker, a world-renowned matchmaker, her and her partner. They work with people around the world. So it doesn't have to be just where you're located, especially if there's a place you want to be. And again, you might be matched with someone that's in a place you never thought of going before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would think about, definitely try the apps first, because that might be your cheapest option right now. And then possibly think about a matchmaker.
Okay, because it's tricky when I see these lists that come out where they're talking about the different ratios, and then I go through the cities, and they're very red cities. I'll just put it that way. So I don't want to end up in a situation where they have a bunch of people that are available to date, but when it comes up to morals and beliefs, we're on different sides of the planet. So.
And that's why I say a matchmaker would ask all those questions. That's going to be probably more in the realm of, first of all, you're paying a certain price in order to get quality. So they're going to ask you all of those questions. They're going to ask you way more than we're asking you right now. And maybe in the future, we'll bring one of the, the duo maybe on here. Maybe they'll be more than willing to come on here and give you guys some advice. But I think that should be something that you consider possibly, because there are questions that you have and certain specifics that you want. That's one way of doing it. However, I will also remind everyone that's watching and listening that please understand, I know statistics say, this place is a terrible place to date, like New York or Atlanta, but people still end up finding love in those areas. Yeah. So that doesn't necessarily have to be your story. Something to think about.
Yeah, I get that. It's just that this is a small area and I have a big family. So that's one of the issues I'm having. So I'll keep all of that in mind, and I'll go over the comment section. And thank you very much for getting to me tonight.
Tia, before you go though, what exactly are you looking for in a partner?
I would like someone within like about 35 to 45.
Okay. Can he have kids?
If they have kids, I want them to have a good relationship with them.
And what's a good relationship in your mind?
Present. They have like the relationship is clear cut between him and the mother of the child. Like it has ended. There's no backseat situation. And I would like someone that is open to new experiences, travel. If they haven't gone to college, I would like someone who has a career that they have built doing something else.
Okay.
I'm kind of open to a lot of things. It's just that I don't have a lot of those options here.
Okay. Based on our conversation, and this is, we listen and we don't judge.
Yeah.
I will say, I feel as if your location is a big hang up for you.
It is.
And I think you need to make peace with that, or make a decision on making that move. Because I think in your mind, your location is what's holding you back. But really, I think personally, if I'm speaking openly with you, I think you are the one holding you back. It's not your location.
That's fair. I'll give you that. But yeah.
Something to think about. I don't know all. I am a Taurus, and I do usually am never wrong. But
I have a lot of. I'm the youngest of 6, but I'm the aunt of 9, and all my nieces are grown. So they're also in the dating pool, and they tend to run into the same few dudes and the same issues.
Okay.
So some of them have moved out of the area, and I'm trying to find somewhere for me to move, but it's hard when I hear some of the different things going on in these places. And I hear about it being difficult to date or it's too expensive. So it's I'm kind of playing those, what would be best.
No. Well, here's the thing. And then I think that's what happens. And this is why I wanted to create this space for us to have these conversations.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times in our conversations with our friends and our girlfriends, a lot of our friends they create this belief system that's not necessarily going to be true for you.
Okay.
So I implore you to maybe possibly think outside the box and say, well, maybe that won't be my story. You know what I mean? You just never know. And I strongly believe that we create the lives that we want. We attract what we want. And if we start putting these little stumbling blocks in front of ourselves, that is what prevents us.
Okay.
All right. Tia, thank you so much for calling in and sharing your experience. Please call back in so that we can get an update when you find love.
All right. Thank you. I got a lot to think about.
Yes. Thank you for calling in and sharing.
Thanks.
Bye. All right, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat, and then we're going to bring up Mallory. Mallory will be our last caller unless any of you guys decide to call in at the last minute. I am going to look. I don't have anywhere to be. I do have somewhere to be. What am I talking about? All right. Shalom asks if Tia was a caregiver. Tia, if you're in the live chat, please feel free to answer if you want to. Let me see what you guys said in the chat. Blanche says, sounds like she doesn't want to leave her comfort zone, but needs to in order to grow. Jan says sometimes moving out of your area can help open up a bit more because you're where no one knows you're where no one knows you to. Okay. Alex says, and we know Alex is over it. It says, my best advice is doing things you like doing, events and meetups, hobbies, and meeting people that way and not expecting much from it. Just have low expectations and focus on new experiences. Yeah, because I feel like when you have all these expectations, that is when you're, first of all, disappointed and dissatisfied because you're like, oh, I didn't meet anybody. Well, if you go with the intention of, I'm just going to have a good time because it's something that I like to do, you just never know. That's why I say it's important. Anytime you go out, even if you're just going to the corner or if you're going on an appointment, always look your best. Because you just never know. You might meet somebody. However, even if you don't look your best and that person still likes you, I mean, because they're going to see you on those days when you don't look your best. Just saying. Like today, I was running the streets and I was like, ooh, I'm looking rough today. But I was just going, where was I going? Oh, I went to get my mani-pedi. Okay. Mama Allie, thank you so much for the super chat. Mama Allie says, I know a ton of single country boys friends. If y'all want to live in Wisconsin, but boy, is it a different world here. Well, you never know. Some people might want to live in Wisconsin. End up, thank you so much for the super chat. End up says, Kempire, would you ever move to another country for love? I totally move. I would. I definitely would. I think even Femtaro has said that she sees that in my future. And that's why a lot of you, when you see me, you're like, are you going to move to blah, blah, blah? I was like, not that I know of. I just moved here. And then that was a process. And I'm a tourist and I don't love to move. So I don't need to move anytime soon. But I definitely see myself not necessarily living in New York forever. I think I will always have property in New York, but I don't see myself living here forever. Nikki, thank you so much for becoming a member. Again, guys, you can become a member as well. Head on over to TheKempire.com/join. This live will be available as a podcast version tomorrow at some particular point. So if you want to hear this on the go, I think this has been a really great live. So thank you all for being here and participating. And maybe we'll do it a little bit earlier next time. Rahina, thank you so much for the super chat. Rahina says, this is so nice, Kempire. Thank you. Thank you, Rahina, for being a part and calling in and sharing your experience. Because look, this show could be just me talking and then it's nothing.
You guys being so transparent, calling in, or even sharing your story in the live chat is much appreciated. Okay, I could be talking to myself, but I'm not. I'm here with you guys. All right, so we have a few people that kept called in. All right, we're gonna get to Mallory next. Mallory, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Thanks so much for putting this together. This has been really fun to listen to.
Me too. I love it. What did you want to share with us tonight?
Well, I am a Cancer Sun, Gemini rising, Gemini moon.
Ooh.
And I think was it Jasmine? She was talking about, I think it was men specifically that had Gemini rising and Gemini moon. And I was just laughing just in terms of dating someone who's like that. Cause I'm like, yeah, I wonder if people could say that about me.
Oh,
yeah. I've been single for 3 years now for the first time since I started dating when I was in high school. Yeah. I'd been in 3 long-term relationships that were kind of back to back.
Okay.
And then took a break, taking a long needed break.
How long was the last relationship?
2.5 years.
Okay. And you took this break because?
My ex passed away suddenly.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it was pretty wild, very suddenly, and definitely needed a break from not just that and grieving and still going through that process, but ultimately we weren't a very good relationship.
Okay.
Aside from that, and so healing from all of that especially has been really hard when you don't have the closure from the other person really, or I don't know. It wasn't very good when he was there. There wasn't really a lot of closure anyways.
Oh, okay. But now you definitely don't have the closure.
Yeah. And I'm so fortunate to be close with his family and have a really good relationship with them. I got a dog from right before he passed away. We got a puppy. And so I kept the dog and now he's 3. He's a golden retriever. He's super cute.
Oh, I love a golden retriever.
Yeah, they're so funny. And he's definitely a big goofball and very hyper. Yeah, but he's really sweet. And so a lot of good things came from it. But there's been a lot of healing that I realized I had this great, sad opportunity, but opportunity to really be by myself, where I felt like I was maybe more trapped in or trauma bonded type of relationship before his passing and stuff. And so it was just it's been crazy to go through roller coaster of emotions of really missing someone that was also you've gone through so much with that wasn't the best, and so that's really affected you. So it's trying to come to peace with stuff. And I feel like I haven't wanted to date seriously at all. And happy to just be by myself and spend time, just figuring out what that looks like for me and what I want for myself, and finding myself feeling more comfortable with dating women and dating people that are non-binary and finding more of myself when it comes to, who I like. And I grew up religious. I grew up Mormon for most of my time until I love Real Housewives of Salt Lake. Love it.
We all do.
And I stopped going, or I left the church when I was 16. Okay. And that was when I had also started my first relationship, which was good. It was someone I was really close with. I'm still close with now. And most of my relationships, all of them have ended well. Unfortunately, I really, obviously with my late ex and stuff, that was super sad. Yeah. But most of my other exes, we've been great friends and stuff too. But growing up LDS Mormon was something that affected me, that I've also had time now to really process of pushing down any type of understanding about sexuality or why I liked women or why I found trans people attractive and like liked who someone was just by their personality and how our connection was, and it didn't have anything to do with if they were masculine or feminine, or like those are more just like add-ons to it and whether I liked it or not, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like there was no real like understanding for that for such a long time. And my family definitely didn't talk about any of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I've only dated men.
Yeah.
And so this period of time, I'm 30 now. I turned 30 this year. And it's been 3 years since my ex passed away. And it's just been a really like groundbreaking like 3 years for me, you know, of just like feeling so confident more in who I am, and like also taking accountability for like the person who I was before that I also like made mistakes and wasn't proud of, and like trying to have more empathy for people, especially my parents, or, you know, things that I've really like held on to, just trying to hold space for more empathy. And I feel like dating now, I want to date more seriously. This past like couple of months, I've really been like, I think I'm ready to, I don't know if I want to, this has been a thing for me for all my relationships, is I don't know if I want to be married or have kids. Very Ariana of me, of Vanderpump Rules. And I actually connected with her so much, in that like scandal of it all broke me. But anyways, like that's always been something that I wasn't sure of, and I was also like happy because sometimes that puts a timeline on things and like makes you want to rush into finding someone. And so I feel like that doesn't weigh any factor on me like wanting to date like wanting to start dating or anything like that. It's not because I want to be married or have kids. It's I just want to have that connection with someone.
And have you started that process? I know you said that now you feel like you're ready. Have you started the process of dating, and how, and what are you doing in order to start that process?
So I like hooked up and stuff when I had moved from where I was with my ex. I was living with him in his house. And then I moved like an hour and a half away to a different city, which I have to say, Jasmine talked about that astrological cartography.
Yes.
I looked mine up while everyone was talking, and I am like 3 hours away from like the Venus, like the line for Venus, and I'm like, oh my God, like that makes me so happy just to know like I moved here, like or just in general, like moved over here. I've moved around a lot my whole life, and so like moving to this state, I was really excited, and then now like that's just so cute. It just made me really excited. But I have been on like dating sites like Bumble, Tinder, and Hinge for a while, just for like hookups, like nothing serious. But switching into like looking for people that are looking for more, because they can preference on there that they want, you know, like long term or whatever. Okay. And so now I'm interested in people that are looking for that, and I don't know. I just ended something with a guy, like I saw him for a month, and I just ended it on like Christmas Eve. Because he doesn't like my dog. So
he doesn't like your dog. He doesn't like a golden retriever. He's a bad person.
I know. That says a lot. Like I have cats as well, and he loves cats. And I was like, okay, that's cool, but does not like my dog. My golden retriever.
What did he say about the dog?
He was scared of him. I'm like, what? How?
A golden retriever?
I know. So I was making dinner. I was cooking pizza, and my dog wanted to play with him, but he doesn't like dogs. And so he doesn't want to play with them. So my golden was like, hey, and, you know, barked at him one time. And he was like, I was genuinely scared. And I'm like, I think that's not going to work then. I'm sorry that you were scared of my dog. Like I take responsibility for, you know, bad behaviors for sure. Yeah. If I'm busy, I want someone like my friends are able to do, like they can reinforce what the, you know, command is for them to not do that if you're not doing what they want. They're like a child, you know?
Yeah. I mean, golden retrievers, though, they're not scary dogs. They're not.
No.
I mean, I'm sure they can be, but.
Like, not at all. So it was hard for me to be like, I'm affirming your like feelings, but get the fuck out.
But like, I mean, that's real. That's real.
I've lost it. Yeah. So
How did he feel about you ending things over the dog?
He was super respectful. He was actually a Cancer as well. So I was surprised. I know. Ugh. My first boyfriend, my high school boyfriend for like 4 years, he was a Cancer. We were like a week apart. And then my second boyfriend was a Leo. And then my last ex was a Sagittarius.
Oh.
Like water and fire. What am I doing? Not good things, not making good decisions. I can't say my pictures. Right? So this guy, I was like kind of interested, but then yeah, it was just, he responded very kindly though, but I was extremely gracious, like more gracious, I feel like, than I needed to be. But I'll tend to do that because I'm just like, we're never going to talk to each other again. So like, you were great and it's me, not you type of thing. Where I'm like, I know my dog can bark sometimes. And, you know, he's a big dog though. He's like almost 90 pounds. So I get it. And especially if you don't like dogs, but my bestie doesn't like dogs either. And she is completely comfortable with my dog and like, just, yeah. So I get it. It's not for everyone though. It is like having a child. So.
I mean, I know you said that's the reason why you ended things with him, but I think if the pros outweighed the cons, you probably would have still probably tried him out a little bit longer. Am I right?
Yeah, most likely. There were definitely other factors. Like I knew that he didn't like dogs. And so I was like, it's okay. Like I knew that to begin with. It's not like he wasn't transparent, you know, but we both were like, it's okay though. Cause like it's not the end of the world, a deal breaker. And then I really respected like his transparency about just how he felt about life and how he felt about himself. And just like, and just normally I wouldn't really get that of someone who's like insightful or like self-reflective. But for myself as someone who, you know, currently battles depression, and that's just like, you know, something that I am aware of for myself and am currently, you know, working on every day, and just there's a certain outlook on life that I really need. Sorry, 1 second.
Those cats.
I know my poor cat's claw. I didn't see it, but her poor claw was stuck in my little bed frame. I'm like, oh, my baby. So sorry.
Cats might be a deal breaker for me. Like, ooh.
I know, my bad. I know that's the thing about. I was so happy he liked cats because normally it's the cats. That are the deal breakers for people. They're sweet babies. Don't even.
I mean, for the most part.
Yeah. I definitely have met a pussy or two I didn't like. But for him, it was definitely more like his outlook on things. Like kind of not a sourpuss, but in that kind of realm where there's always just kind of something that isn't going right for the day.
So it really wasn't just about the dog.
No, that like was definitely pushing it over the edge for sure. Okay. And I was like, not my baby. Don't treat my baby like that.
You were looking for an excuse, Mallory.
Yeah. I was quick to pull that. See, okay, but I'll admit 100% that's my go-to now. I feel like with my exes, a pattern in my relationship was like really giving it my all. And once I like them and I don't have the ick yet, it's so hard to let go.
Yeah.
And so it could be like years. Like most of my second relationship lasted 4 years. And so it's hard to let go until you like really get the ick. And then it's like, okay, no. And then when I get it, it's like gone immediately. Like I got the ick with this guy with my dog on Sunday or
this is
Monday,
real fresh.
and I was gone by Christmas Eve. I was like, no more.
Oh.
I don't even want you to wish me a Merry Christmas. We're good to go. Like, I know it's so bad. Is this the Gemini in me?
It could be.
I'm new to learning charts. Is this the Cancer, the crab, the claws coming out, me retreating into my shell? Yeah, it kind of feels that way.
Could be. But I mean, again, we discovered that it wasn't just the dog. There was definitely a lot more other things that were standing out to you that didn't work with this particular person, which is fine. I mean, your go-to was, the dog was the cherry on top.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it feels like to me things have to build up into something that like kind of crosses a line. But I don't know. Is that just like it? I don't really know. It feels like it has to build up to really cross a line for me for me to be done with it. It can't just be like a vibe I get, really, you know? It has to be something like they've said multiple times or like, I don't know. So I find it interesting it's been nice to date. So I also, for Tia, I moved here. I don't know anyone. I have friends like 2 hours away that I met. I'm a transplant like to this state in general and just met people as I worked. And dating without knowing anyone like in the area and being new to the area, definitely like find other interests in that area than just like, I just want to date.
Yeah.
Because there's like trash people in general, people like not just men, like trash people in general that you can date, and it can be, you know, it can be a lonely experience, but honestly, if you haven't moved out on your own, you can really find yourself. I feel like it doesn't have to be an identity like with where you're living. Although like I respect that because my best friend loves living in Idaho. She lives in Boise. So, and she loves it, never wants to leave. And that's, you know, I've moved around my whole life. So I don't know anywhere.
Your advice is actually really good advice for Tia and a lot of other people listening. It is not just doing activities based off of the whole dating aspect, but actually doing things that might enrich you and doing something that's filling your cup will actually attract better people into your life, more friends, and possibly the love of your life.
Exactly. I completely agree with that. And although I haven't found that, I have honestly found really great friends, even just nice people through dating. It's just been nice to like get out, and I work from home, so I don't really like connect with people very often. And it's great just like kind of whenever I want to. And there's so much freedom, and just like there's positives and negatives to the dating apps. Yeah. But I think there's a lot of freedom in being able to get on whenever you feel like it and take breaks when you need to, and just like vet people a little bit more. The way that I can get someone's whole life on my phone by getting their Snapchat or by getting like something kind of innocuous and you can find them like and I would say do that, because I will say that I matched with someone who was a pedophile P. And they obviously like didn't tell me. I got their like phone number for like we matched, got their phone number, got their Snapchat, and then their Snapchat had their name in it because dudes, why would they be in incognito? And I Googled him, and that's the first time anyone's ever, I was like, La Kent. Oh, doing all the investigation, all the background checks. And he was trying to get popped. No, I'm just kidding. But I found that, and I was like, oh my God, immediately block. And it's just like, it's pretty wild out there. So definitely do your due diligence and be safe out there. But as a single woman with 3 cats and a dog, making it work. And it's been fun. I don't know. It's been a good time. Like, it's been definitely sad and a difficult a difficult experience and like changed me as a person. But ultimately, I'm very grateful and have met really nice people, even if it hasn't worked out.
Yeah, because it's all about the journey. And I think a lot of people, because they want to find they're the Charlotte York. Where is he? They want to have that
yeah.
But the journey is letting you know, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what I will tolerate, this is what I won't tolerate. Oh, I just made a friend, a lifelong friend. You just don't know what that journey is leading you to. And I think we have to get more into the mindset of enjoying the journey.
Exactly. I totally agree. And whatever that looks like, I listen to so much YouTube. I watch you, I watch No Filter, I watch, I love watching you guys, and especially seeing like your channels grow and stuff. It's been really impactful to see. I don't know. I just love it. I feel like it's just a whole new way to connect with people as well. I just want to touch on as well, for some advice, I think that when you're thinking about, like, if you're out of a relationship, for my experience, or grieving or anything that's been just like such a heaviness on who you are and kind of like knocked you off your seat, from where you were, I would say realize that your nervous system takes a while to heal from that. And like the trauma, especially if you were not in a good relationship before or whatever that looks like for you, like I dealt with like infidelity and then a death and then like so much stuff that really just, I didn't realize how much I was just like surviving.
Yeah.
And it takes a long time for your body to realize it, and then to realize how much of like pain that you were holding on to. Yeah. And how it manifests in different ways, and like deals with your outside relationships. Like I was pretty quiet. I didn't like talk about anything that was going on, and it was just like an explosion, like, dealing with all the feelings I had that on top of missing the person like so much. Yeah. And so, I just really encourage people to like take the time to heal yourself and like find yourself and what you like. And I think you can then listen to yourself when you are meeting people, not even just to date, but you can like kind of feel the red flag going off, or like just your nervous system will start acting up again, because it'll, or sometimes, you'll trigger something that is your intuition telling you. And I think it's just really important as like a single person living alone to like be safe out there, or like, even if you're in an open relationship or whatever, like just realize that there are people out there that can really make a great impact on your life. And then people that want to take advantage of you, and I think I've had good experiences being alone, but I have had more trust in myself to listen to when I've been like, this person's weird. Like there's no way, like the bad weird.
Yeah. And I think it's important what you mentioned in regards to, once you realize that you need healing and you focus on that healing, when you do end up meeting people that might trigger you, you notice it more when you've healed.
Yeah, you're not as conditioned to it, especially if you can spend time alone. You can decompress, even if you don't really realize it, that your body's like normalizing and feeling secure. Like I've been able to provide for myself and feel trust in myself and confidence, because I have also like confronted myself with, you also make some choices in this, you're not just like dropped into life or dropped into these relationships and dealing with it. There's a lot of accountability that comes with it, so that you don't repeat the same patterns. And one of that is like feeling that bad vibe from the person and not running towards it in like comfort and being like, that's a bad thing. Because in my early 20s, I definitely didn't realize it was like anxiety also is associated with it. I thought it was like a good feeling, like it meant something,
Yeah. Well, Mallory, we appreciate you calling in.
Thank you so much for letting me share. And I really appreciated just having a space where everyone would just felt comfortable. And I love this channel so much. So thank you so much. I've been watching since like 2020 and I'm obsessed.
Wow. Thank you, Mallory, so much. I appreciate it. It's not easy calling in and sharing this much. But we appreciate it because I think you're going to help a lot of people.
I really appreciate everyone just lending a listening ear and letting me share that, because it's also very healing on my end. And it's just really, special to me. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great holiday coming up.
Keep us up to date. When you're dating, maybe you're in a relationship or things change.
You never know with this Gemini rising, Gemini moon. You never know what I'm doing over here. Thank you so much. I'm definitely going to be listening in. So thank you.
Thank you, Mallory. Take care. Have a good night. Happy holidays.
Too.
All right, we're going. I know. Shout out to everyone that's been waiting backstage patiently. Lamar, we're going to bring you up in just a second. Let me just say thank you to Anne for the super chat. Anne is still married to her Dutch man. He is, however, well trained now. I also have the best prenup and trust fund. Oh Lord, Anne. Shares and percentage of future earnings. He's part creator of video games, tech AI. Be strong or Dutch men are not for you. And we know you are a strong one. And Tika asked the question, Kempire, Kempire, when you get married, are you going to leave us? Because I don't want that for us. Well, if he has a trust fund, well, that was it the Mega Millions? That's like $1 billion right now. I've been meaning. Damn, I should have played. Tonight's the Mega Million. Oh, well, hopefully no one. Well, no, hopefully someone won. But I said to myself, would I still do this if I was a billionaire? I mean, I do love my job. I probably just wouldn't do it as much. I probably would still do it. I probably just would not. I probably would do more stuff like this where we're not covered. I mean, I still probably talk hot topics, but it probably a little bit more leisurely as opposed to, I'm also on a schedule. Like, oh, we have this to cover this week and this and that. So depending on the trust fund, and if he doesn't want me to work, am I going to argue? But I always like to have my own. You know what I mean? Too. Like, I like to have my own. I'm also a Taurus. I can't live off of anyone unless he's really filthy rich. And he's like, no. Like we want to go to Capri this weekend. Bye, y'all. Just saying, okay. Johanna, I think that's how you pronounce it. Thank you for the super chat. Johanna says, my rising and moon are both in Virgo. My sun is Aries. But in my opinion, my Venus and Mars are both in Taurus. I'm attracted to Taurus men. Well, I think that would work based off of your chart. I personally don't think I would date an Aries, but I'm really, really good friends with Aries. But I say that now, but you never know. My trust fund might be an Aries man. And look, sometimes you just got to look past astrological signs and embrace the trust fund. I should put that on a t-shirt. Embrace the trust fund. Okay? All right. We're going to make Lamar our last caller for the night because we've been live for over 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours, but if you're part of the replay crew, be sure to like the video, be sure to subscribe. If you enjoy this type of live, be sure to let us know that we will do it again. But we will only do it if people will be willing to call in and share their thoughts and their experiences. So shout out to everyone that was brave enough to call in and share their experiences. Shout out to those of you that have been in the live chat as well, sharing your thoughts and your opinions. I know there are quite a few of you watching in the bushes, scared to, which is fine. One day, though, you will be brave enough to call in and share your experience. Mama Ali says, can we get a link to the birth chart you recommended dropped in this live as well? I don't remember it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it, and then we'll bring up. Hold on 1 second. I was just doing this the other day. Hold on. Because I think I did it the other day a few weeks ago I did this. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. No, that's not where it is. Okay, here it is.
All right, so I'm going to drop this in the live chat. This is where you can you'll need your date of birth, your birthplace, and your birth time. Okay, so you'll need all of those elements. So I'm going to drop this here. But again, this is great to figure out what your rising and your moon and all your things. However, if you want to understand that, getting a birth chart reading is helpful. I've had multiple. I've had one with Tarot. I had a Vedic birth chart reading. I had one with someone else. So when Janelle mentioned the whole, where you're going to be in order for your career and love, one of the astrologers that I did utilize, I had mentioned I was going on a trip. I forgot where I was going. And he was like, oh, that's going to be great for you during that time. So I've seen that before. Mallory, thank you so much for the super chat. Mallory says, thanks for everyone's kind messages. Love this space. Thank you, Mallory. And good luck. Again, keep us posted on your journey in love. We love it. Okay. All right. Let me bring up Lamar because she's been waiting so patiently behind the scenes. Lamar.
Hi, can you hear me?
Do you have headphones on?
I don't.
Okay. I don't know. It just sounds, I don't know.
Sounds kind of weird.
A little bit. Do you have me on the background?
No, I'm close my YouTube with you, so it's just StreamYard.
I mean, I can hear you.
Okay. It might be, I'm using my Windows computer instead of my Windows computer, so it could do that. It has like a different audio setup. But I just want to say, you're such a good listener. When I watch your videos, I'm always inspired to think that I could be a better listener in my life. I'm Jamaican as well. I immigrated to the US when I was 7, and I have a Jamaican father who is not a good listener. So I'm always inspired when I see Jamaican people, especially other poor Jamaican people, like being good listeners. I'm like, wow, look at us, doing way better than their parents. But I am a Capricorn sun and a Leo moon, as much as I know. Jamaican birth certificates didn't put the time on it in 93 when I was born. I'll be 31 next week on the 31st. But I've been listening throughout the night, and I'm so intrigued to hear about people's dating experiences because I watched Kimberly Foster. She also has the 400 channel, and she's been doing a lot of things about dating, and basically she says a lot that piss is in the dating pool. And she's been looking at this research that academics have been doing about dating. And I just want, especially women and femmes who are dating, to not feel so bad. I think the research is showing that the men are not well when we try to date them. And that's like across the board in the research. And I do want to note that. But I'm an asexual person. Like, I'm a gray asexual, so like my need for like sexual desire is very low and like sexual connection, but I do really like romance. So that kind of puts dating in a tricky spot. I'm also an ADHD, I'm autistic and ADHD, so I have a lot of stuff going on as I enter the dating pool. And seeing other people who are just like by themselves makes me really happy.
Lamar?
Yeah.
I want people to be able to hear your story. Can you call me from like your phone?
Yeah, I can call. Can I call StreamYard from my cell phone?
Say again?
I said I can call StreamYard from my cell phone.
Try that because I think I want people to be able to hear you.
Okay, I am going to drop off and be right back.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, because I can hear, but it's coming in and out a little bit for me. So I want, and this is a note for the future, guys. When you call in, I just want to make sure that we're able to hear everyone because I think it's important because there might be gems that people might be missing out on, and everyone's listening on different devices. Some are on your computer, some of you are on your phone. So I want to make sure. Mallory says you can use Safari to connect the StreamYard link. Can you on Safari? I feel like you can on Safari. All right, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's easy and free. And if you have, or if you're watching the replay of this, be sure to let us know your thoughts. Let us know your astrological signs. Let us also know your dating experiences and things like that as well. It's almost 1:00 in the morning here in New York. Almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And thank you guys so much for the super chats, the Venmos, the Cash Apps, everything like that. Don't forget the Kempire After Dark live experience is coming back to Washington, D.C. on Friday, January 24th. Then we're returning back to New York City on Friday, February 21st. And there's a live stream option for the New York City show. All that information will be available in the description. Let me see. Hold on. Tika says, when I click the chart link, it turns off my video. I'm going to wait to click it. Oh, look. Oh, let's try Lamar again. Lamar, are you there?
Yes. Is this any better?
Oh my God. It's amazing. It's such a difference.
Okay, great. I'm glad that's better. Yes. So I started off by saying you're a great listener. I'm a Jamaican as well. I was born in Jamaica, immigrated to the U.S. as a child. So you know our culture. And so it's always helpful and great to see Jamaicans like listening, being empathetic. I think that, I don't know, I grew up with a lot of meanness from my father in particular. And I think that is something that I notice culturally that I think could be better. And I am a Capricorn sun, moon is in Leo, and most of my chart is Capricorn. I have some Scorpio and Aries, but most of it is Capricorn.
Okay.
And I was saying that I am an ADHDer, so I'm autistic, ADHD, and I am on the asexuality spectrum. There's some ace people who don't experience any sexual desire. I experience some very rarely. So I often say I can go the rest of my life and like be fine without that being a part of my life. But I am not aromantic. I like romance. And often when I see people, I'm like, "Ooh, are they aesthetically attractive?" Like that's like where my brain first goes. I don't feel like, wow, like some people are like, "Oh yeah, I want to sleep with them." I'm like, I literally never think that. So that is also kind of interesting, especially with the apps, because Tinder and Bumble, and I think Hinge more so now, is like very much hookup based, right? People are desiring that sexual connection.
Yeah.
And I don't. So that makes pairing kind of difficult. Even in like queer spaces, I feel like being what we call allosexual, which is experiencing sexual desire, is like very much important to people, which I get it. I'm not trying to be ace too, because it's not a choice. But I think that also puts some interestingness in my dating experience, to say the least.
I could imagine.
Yeah, because I'm also autistic, right? And so physical touch is not, for me in my autistic experience, is not my favorite thing. I wasn't like hugged as much as a kid. I have 2 younger sisters who are quite like a lot younger than me, and they love a hug. They're like, oh, they're 20 and 18. They still want to be like, oh, let's cuddle and watch movies. It was just Christmas. And I'm like, okay, I'll try. So I've definitely gotten better over the years. But my last relationship was 3 years. I've been single for a year. I did like some dating here and there, but it really didn't amount to much. And I was okay with that. I think that I've been in therapy for a long time. And as I get more in tune with myself, and I think one of the previous callers was talking about nervous systems. And so the complete nervous system is 2, right? Because when you get overwhelmed, somebody else's nervous system that is not dysregulated can help you, right? They can catch, I like to think of it as like your pail is overflowing, theirs is less full, so they can catch some of your water. And so I think that's a thing that I am trying to figure out, is like a lot of like self-soothing and like being able to emotionally regulate alone. But also knowing that I need a complete unit, like even if it's a friend or something else. So I think as I'm getting more into my 30s, building community is getting more important to me. I don't want children. I've never had a desire to have children. I know some people are like, I've thought about having children since I was young. And this one man, when I went to visit Jamaica in 2019, was like, you're Jamaican, your uterus. I was like, sir, don't talk about my uterus for children, because your existence is making me want nobody to have children. But here we are. So I've never had that desire. So I think that's also something else.
Can I ask you a question before we continue? In regards to the 3-year relationship that you had,
especially being someone that is asexual. Like what in that relationship, what was the issue in regards to why you guys didn't stay together?
Yeah. So, well, it was an interracial relationship. My partner was American born, Indian from South India. His parents were, but he was born and raised on the West Coast where I live. And I think we like really hit it off. It was also March of 2020 or May of 2020 when we met. We had only spoken on the phone. Yeah. We do like food deliveries to each other's houses, and we would just like spend like the day and the night talking, right? Mm-hmm. And then we finally met up in May 2020, and it was great. We had a very small bubble. It was just really us. And so I think then we moved in together in 2021 into the house I grew up in. So my parents are landlords. So I do acknowledge that there's some like power differential there, right? Mm-hmm. But like in setting up the home, I was doing a lot of the work. I was doing the cooking, I was doing the cleaning, we're splitting the bills 50-50, which is fine, but they also made more money than me. And so I'd be like, hey, we're splitting everything evenly, but when it comes to household management, I am managing the household. Oh. Right? I set up the bill accounts. I figured out the moving company because I wanted to hire a Black moving company. So I made sure I found a Black moving company to like move all our stuff here. I did the logistics of that, the day-to-day management. I'm like, okay, I'm keeping track of the list. And all that sounds really easy, but it's not. No. And they weren't doing it.
You're a Capricorn, right?
Yeah, I'm a Capricorn.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And so I also grew up with a dad who was a single parent for some time. So my dad is very domesticated, right? If you broke something, he would stitch it up. He did the laundry. He did all this stuff, as well as like patching the walls. Like I was more handy than my partner just from seeing my parents buy this home and do like fix-its on it because they couldn't afford to have anybody else do it. And so when I talked to him, like, hey, I need more help. It would be like, well, exactly how do you need help? Tell me exactly. And I'm like, you're not watching. You don't have eyes. You're not seeing how the household is ran. Now you need me to go through the list of everything that I do so you can do it. I don't have time to do that. And so I will acknowledge that at times I was super impatient with him.
You do understand, too, in regards to communication, not everyone communicates in the same way. And although you believe he should see all that you're doing, in his probably world, he probably doesn't pay attention to those things because of the way he grew up.
Yeah, and I would spend time with his family, and I'd be like, it makes sense. Oh. He's the youngest son. There's another brother. He has an older brother, so it's just two sons. His mom literally does everything. Like she would even like hide stuff around the house, so they wouldn't really know where to find the proper utensils. Oh. And then they'd be like, "Mom, where is it?" And she's like, "Oh, I'll go get it." So she was like doing all this extra labor. Yeah, and I was like, you don't need me that bad. Like, this is where the stuff is. Like, please, wow. Go do what you will. And over time, it got better. And then they were super caring in the fact that I quit my job and they were supporting us, right? And so I don't want to be like they were just like terrible. Yeah. They were great. I just don't think we weren't compatible, and we kept trying to make it work. Right. We went to couples therapy. And we'd often argue for like, I'm right, as opposed to, oh, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah. And, so we were just kind of like trying to fit a square into a circle, and it wasn't working. And we did it for quite a bit of time. We went to couples therapy because I was like, we should get some help. And also trying to get him to go to therapy, which he really, really didn't want to do. But I was going to therapy. And what happens is like, as you seek your own like development and the other person isn't, you start growing and they're not. And so it becomes even more mismatched. Yeah. I would even sometimes give up my own therapy sessions so we could go to couples therapy with my therapist, who was very neutral and great and would give us great advice. I think that both helped us, but we weren't the right people to apply it to each other. But then, we went on this trip abroad. I didn't know I was autistic at the time. And I was super overwhelmed. Like I was shutting down. I wasn't able to like communicate the way that I usually do. I was exhausted, and I was in a lot of physical pain because of my feet. And then he wanted to walk everywhere. And I was like, but I have this pain, so I can't do what you do. Yeah. And so we had a dinner. His mom talked to me wild. And I was like, hey, I don't know who you think I am, but I might jump across this table and box your mom. So please. Right. And so it was like but it was great. I found out I was autistic. The relationship didn't work out. We parted ways pretty like, you're great. You're great. We just
Did you find out that you were autistic during the relationship or after?
After the trip, I was telling my therapist, she's like, I think maybe we need to get you that autism screening, which is very difficult to find as an adult. And so I spent like a lot of money to get screened. But it was great.
Self-diagnosis like Amanda Seales?
I did at first, right? Because a lot of those places will be like, hey, have you taken these tests?
Yeah.
And then they will also then screen you with a professional who can tell you what's going on. Yeah. But I was like, wow, this relationship really kind of messed me up in some ways. I felt really close to his family and that broke very quickly. Which my family, we are a mess, but we're like, at the end of the day, you're what I got. Like, you know, nothing is going to tear us apart. Yeah. So I've enjoyed being single. I think it's helped me a lot. I realized that, yeah, I mean, I'd like a romantic relationship, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's me, right? Wherever I go, I will be myself. And how do I go to places and be myself in a way that feels fulfilling to me? And knowing the ways in which, I guess, my disabilities impact the way I see and able to interact with the world and the world interacts with me has helped me a lot in like feeling less guilty. Like, I don't like to talk to people about just random stuff. How was your weekend? I don't actually care. Like, I don't. Like, unless you are somebody that I find interesting or feel a bond with, I actually think that that's great that you like to hang out with your kid, but I actually don't really care or want to even hear about it. Right. And so there's a level of realizing that and being like, okay, in my close relationships, that's how I can interact. And outside of that, there's a level of like, at work, especially, a level of like, wow, that's so interesting that I have to do, and levels of masking, although I'm not even that good at masking. So people can tell I'm not interested. And it also takes like a pretty bad toll on autistic people's like lifespans when they're masking a lot.
Not to interrupt you, Lamar.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched the 90 Day Fiance before the 90 Days new season.
With Niles?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been watching.
Yeah, so I know we haven't had Tuesday Takeover, so we haven't really been talking about 90 Day Fiance. So when you talked about masking, I think that's a term that a lot of people they're not familiar with. So can you tell people what masking is?
Yeah, sure. So masking is when they usually use it for autistic people. It's when we try to imitate behaviors of non-autistics or allistics or sometimes neurotypicals, although some neurotypicals might be ADHDers or other things, and there's often some overlap with those diagnoses. And so it's like, for instance, the social norm of asking somebody, hey, how was your weekend? I'm ready to tell you exactly what happened during my weekend, right? Because I'm thinking that's what you want, because that's what the question would require. But actually, you're just supposed to say, based on allistic standards, it was good. I had fun. I slept. I went for a walk, those types of things, not like the full breadth of like the weekends and what was the highlights.
No.
So that's like a small example of masking. But doing that over and over and over again has pretty bad impacts on autistic people.
Yeah.
And so unmasking is something I'm trying to do, in that I'm trying to be forthright in the way that I express myself, which is usually pretty direct and pretty honest. And I don't use a lot of fluff, which I realize people need, right? So instead of saying something like, why did you do that? I can say, could you explain to me why you thought that was the best move? No. Or could you, because when you say why and you, I've learned from my therapist that freaks people out. But I find it to be the most efficient way for me to tell you what I do. But no, I actually really have enjoyed seeing Niles and Matilda.
Yeah.
And
That's the only thing about 90 Day Fiancé I can appreciate, besides some of the pre-production that's happening with a lot of other couples. But in the last couple of seasons, seeing certain folks from different walks of life, like when we saw that man that was blind, and they give us that experience of being blind.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is like the way it's being produced is really giving the viewers, this is what they're experiencing. And I think that will give people a little bit more sensitivity to people that are coming from different walks of life and different abilities. So that's why I thought it was important to mention, when you mentioned masking, be ready to ask the question, does she share her diagnosis up front when dating?
I do. I don't think that's everybody's journey. And also there's a lot of people who are going around undiagnosed, because getting a diagnosis, I think a parent has to be tuned into a way with their child and understanding what autism is, which my background with my parents being immigrants and refugees, like they just didn't have the time or the space to really know what that is. And also my parents have a weird view about mental health, which they need to hash out because they're both mentally unwell. So
that makes
sense. So I go forth with everything. I'm an ADHDer. I'm a gray asexual. I also go with my politics, right? I'm a leftist. Like, if you love cops in the military, I am not the girl for you, right? I try to put everything that I feel is important to me to know about people up front in my experience. Other stuff like, oh, I love pink, you're going to figure out because I wear it as much as I can, right? But those other things that I think are value driven, and also that I don't want children. I put all that, like, first date, before the first date, generally the person I would see would know that. Because those are sticking points. Like, people might not know if they want children. I also feel like if you can't care the child, I don't care about your opinion about it, right? So I also say that, like, I would be the one doing that work. I don't think we are pregnant. I think I am pregnant, right? If that was the case, right? So yes, I do disclose. I also try to explain a bit about autism, which might be like doing extra work, which I might feel more comfortable doing when I feel more accepted by like having that kind of community, right? My parents are kind of like, what is autism? Lamar is smart. She's not autistic. I'm like, autism and like being smart are not linked at all, right? So I don't necessarily have people who are reflecting back to me what I need to see to feel like less annihilated. Right. So that's why I'm like, community is so important, and dating is kind of secondary to that. But I try to explain to people, like, autistic people are communicating generally to get information. Right. So as I get information by hearing you talk or observing you, because we're generally speaking watching people, right? Because we're also watching to be like, okay, so you do this social cue at 2:00 when the sun is this big in the sky, right? It's like gets very, 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 very drilled down, right? But we're communicating for information. So I've been watching your videos for some time, so I have some information about you. You seem kind, you listen actively, you're engaging with people, and you know a lot about pop culture, and you're very good at interviewing. Those are things, that information I've garnered from Kempire's channel, right? But oftentimes when I'm communicating with a non-autistic person, they're communicating to get a sense of like emotion, right? Like, so Lamar's expression, this emotion or that emotion. And based on that kind of like emotional framework, they kind of get a sense of my character. I don't care about that. I need to have the information first, because based on the information, then I create a scaffolding of what I think of you and how I should engage with you, which oftentimes leads to some kind of levels of we're communicating for different things, and the way we reach our conclusions are different, which I think is kind of the sticking point for why autistic folks have a difficult time, right? Because again, if you tell me that was great, you did a good job, I think you mean that. And I think that's it. But then you're like, well, you could have actually like made more eye contact or done this instead. So I'm like, okay, so was it a good job or was it not a good job, or is it a medium job? What do you mean when you say good? Right. So it's I don't know if that's a great explanation, but that brings some friction, and I can see it with Niles and Matilda and the way that they're communicating in the show.
Yeah. Oh, OMG. Lamara, so
Yeah.
where are you in your journey of now dating? Like where do you want to be? Should I ask?
With dating, that's a good question. Ideally, I would have a partner. I'm a one partner type person. I have a lot of polyamorous friends, and that seems even more stressful than dealing with just one person.
Can you imagine that communication?
Not me telling them all to shut up and leave the house so we can have a break. Now everybody's mad at me. I just need one person to be upset with me. No, I think ideally I'd like a partner that's also neurodivergent, so we can kind of vibe on that. I know that they have to have a similar politic. And I think the personal is political, so I'm not going to be arguing human rights with you on any Tuesday before we go to bed. That would just make me angry.
Yeah.
And that is like comfortable. Like my last partner was great in that they were comfortable with my sexuality. There wasn't any like, we need to do this right now. There was no pressure for that.
Yeah.
And so those are things I need. If I don't get them, that's okay. I feel like I'm trying to build a fulfilling life with people around me and that I can also support. And I think for a long time, especially after how the last relationship ended, I felt like being autistic was just the worst thing ever. That I wasn't going to have any friends. I wasn't going to have any meaningful relationships. But I had a friend stay with me for a week because I was having a hard time. And they were like, we were just having fun talking. They helped me out. They made dinner a lot. And we, vibed. They talked to me about their life. And this is a friend I've known for 10 years from community organizing. But we have never like spent one-on-one time together like that. But I think because they're also neurodivergent, it's very clear. We talk about that. They have a similar politic. It was really easy to just share space. And they're also funny and we have like the same things too, right? And so I was like, if I can't have like the romance, whatever, having just a lot of friends, not even a lot because I can't do a lot of friends, a handful of friends who live close by. That I can support and they can support me would just be splendid, That's all. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Lamar, for calling in. I think we learned a lot today.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you, Kempire. Thank you for the space you provide, and I hope you have a good New Year.
You too, and I hope you will call us back in, giving us a life update.
Yeah, definitely. I think things will be really good in 2025, even though whoever's going to be president. But anyway, thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Lamar. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, and you guys are a brilliant community. So many of you called in with you gave me a lot of aha moments. And I'm sure when I listen back to this, and you guys will be able to take this on the go, there will be a podcast version. So make sure you subscribe to the Kempire podcast on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. I will upload an audio version for those that want to kind of just listen and be on the go. But for those that are watching the replay of this on YouTube, so you can see some of the folks that called in as well. This conversation, I definitely think that we should do this again. And shout out to those of you that called in, but you had to go. I understand. Maybe the next time you'll be able to call in and share your perspectives. I think a lot of people will definitely benefit from the conversations that we have here. Look, doing the Kempire After Dark live experience and meeting all of you in person, not realizing the effect this channel has had on people's lives and helped them through things over the last 5 years. You just don't know. You don't know how you're affecting people's lives. And I'm glad that we all could use this space to share dating, life, health perspectives. And we should definitely do it again, right? You guys will let me know. We'll figure out the official name. Right now, I'm just calling it Dating with Kempire, where we listen and we don't judge. And if we are judging, we won't say it. We won't say it. If you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like the video. And if you're listening to this, be sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Shout out to our moderators for being in the chat.
And shout out to those of you that sent in super chats. We appreciate you guys. Those of you that send in cash apps, Venmos, things like that. I see that normally after the live because I have everything turned off. But thank you in advance for the support. And thank you for those that may have missed it. I did a live unboxing yesterday because some of you have sent me things for my birthday, for Christmas. I just went to the P.O. box yesterday. It was yesterday. So I did open that up on the live. So thank you so much for the Christmas wishes, the New Year's wishes, the birthday wishes. I appreciate that as well. Thank you so much for the super chat. B says, thank you, Kempire, and thank you to everyone for sharing tonight. Yes, because it's not easy. It's not easy in general to call into the channel, and it's definitely not easy to be vulnerable talking about your dating life here. And we had quite a few people. We had quite a few people call in, and some people that couldn't stay around because I know I didn't put a timer up. I really don't want to put a timer up for these types of conversations just because, as you can see, we're 3 hours strong right now. But I don't want to rush people because it's already uncomfortable sharing this. So I don't want to rush people. So in the chat, we're creating a safe space where we're not rushing people to share their stories. But we do want people to be able to be all of us to be able to hear them. So as you saw with Lamar, we're like, Lamar, let's see if we can have you call in from somewhere else so that everyone can really hear. And I'm glad that we did that because she had so many important things to talk about. And I think I'm glad that we had her call in again. That way we could hear everything that she was saying. So thank you to all of the callers. Thank you again to our channel members. Thank you to those of you that have been subscribers or a new subscriber. We appreciate you guys. And of course, thank you to our King's Guards for helping us keep this safe space safe. All right. I will see you all in the comment section. Again, we listen and we don't judge, okay? Especially in this comment section. All right, 3 hours. 3 hours we talked, guys. I hope you guys have a great night. Oh, I love this. Ivy says, I really felt seen. Yay. Ivy, have a fantastic birthday. Shout out to all the Capricorns. You guys are the only ones that don't come in here and be like, it's Capricorn season. So happy Capricorn season. Happy birthday to anyone celebrating a birthday. Shout out to all the astrological signs. We listen and we don't judge you unless you're a Cancer man or a Pisces. Pisces man's worse. Anyways, shh. Okay, Virgos, you thought I forgot about you? I didn't. Good night, y'all.
Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio podcast. As always, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for everything Kempire Radio, head on over to KempireRadio.com.